Lenovo.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Carmichael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Yes, I always tell you they are a family-owned operation, been in business since 81, A-plus Better Business Bureau, but it is hot. We are in those Sacramento hot months. I want to focus on them being your second opinion partner. What does that mean? Maybe you've got somebody you're working with or you've worked with in the past in the HVAC world. Guess what? They want to give you a second opinion. How much does it cost? Nothing. You call them up and say, hey, can I get a second opinion on this deal? They come out and they either say, wow, that's a great deal, you should feel better about that. Or they say, we can beat that price. And usually they're going to beat it by a lot. Guess what? You just saved money and it didn't cost you anything to find out. It's a no-lose situation. Go with a trusted company. American Energy, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drake on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SacktownSports.com and the Sacktown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sacktown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drake.
Well, Kyle Draper's not with us today. Root canal. Yeah, Drapes had told us, I might try to get in there. I've never had root canal. Maybe you've had root canal. I told him, if I was having root canal, I'd just take the day off. He said, no, I'm going to see how it goes. Texted today. Hopefully he's feeling better. So no Kyle Draper today. Should be back with us tomorrow. So you got Whitey, you got Jay. And let's start with this. We have this question already in the YouTube chat from Amadrock. Is Sean C's announcement true? Kings openers against Jazz? Well, I'll tell you one thing. You can take what Sean Cunningham reports to the bank. But yes, it is true. Sacramento Kings will open the 25-26 season on Wednesday, October 22nd in Phoenix against the Suns. We don't know what the roster is going to look like. We're not sure what the Kings are going to be running, but we'll just go ahead and say that's a W. Kings home opener, Golden One Center versus the Utah Jazz. 2 nights later, Friday, October 24th. Oh, the place is going to be hopping, Jay. The home opener on a Friday night at the Golden One against the Jazz. It's almost like a homecoming game, so that'll be a W. And then the Kings' next game will be Sunday the 26th against the Lakers. I don't know, but Alan Stiles says, that's an easy win as well. So Kings starting you can take it to the bank, Kings starting the next season 3-0, Jay. That's a good way to start the season. That's good news. Good way to start the show.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad way.
Yeah.
It's Monday, baby.
That's right. Yes, I do think it's interesting. Domas said a lot of things at his camp in Rockland, and we're going to talk about some of those things. But one of the things he talked about was the new system that Doug Christie is installing. And we don't really know anything about that. And that's fine. I'm not saying we should. I'm not saying, it's a bad idea. I'm just saying it's hard to predict what the Kings are going to look like when we don't know exactly what they're going to be running. And it sounds like some of them aren't even sure. So I look forward to that. We're used to what the Kings have been running the last 2-3 years. It was obviously difficult for Doug coming in last year when he came in to make a lot of changes. They changed a few things here or there, but now Doug Christie with a new system, or at least a different system. What's that going to look like? I don't know. It makes it really difficult to anticipate and predict what the Kings are going to do. Also makes it difficult to guess how players are going to fit into this system. We don't know what it's going to be yet. I hope, Jay, and I would guess that in some ways, maybe this is just my wish, that it's kind of in some ways reminiscent of what Doug and C-Webb and those guys used to do. I know that, The game has evolved. You got to shoot a lot more threes, but I'd love to see that kind of style again.
Which is
Sharing the ball, a lot of player movement, ball movement, backdoor stuff. Some of Coach's old backdoor principles.
little Pete Carril.
Yeah. And run the offense at times through Domas the way the offense used to run through C-Webb. We've seen some of that already. Perhaps that will be magnified and emphasized even more this year. We'll find out soon enough.
Yeah. I wish I did know the type of system that Coach Christie
Jay knows.
is fond to.
Jay knows.
And
He and Doug Christie are very close, and he's just not at liberty to tell us right now. In fact, it might even be Jay's system that they're running.
Ooh, you know what? I did submit a resume to be on the staff, backbench.
Mm.
No, I'm just playing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it will be interesting. I think, now we have comfortably moved into the Doug Christie era, and so he'll be able to implement his own offense and defense and styles and stylistically that hopefully they'll play, as you said. It'll look a lot more advanced. It'll look a lot more smoother and a lot more aggression, a lot more determination, faster.
Yeah.
I can continue if you need me to.
Impose your will on the other team. Everyone's trying to do that, but it's something the Kings, I think they've talked about, but they haven't actually executed enough over the last couple of years. I think this roster has to play that way. By the way, Emma Drock says, first-time season ticket member looking forward to that first game.
Oh.
I assume that means season ticket holder for Emma Drock.
Okay, Big Chipper.
That's nice.
Big Chipper.
Yeah. There's nothing quite like being a season ticket holder. We were season ticket holders in the old building for a couple of years.
When's the last time you've owned a pair of season tickets?
It was during the Weber era and through the very end of the Weber era, like up through 2006 or so, probably.
Oh, okay.
For about 3-4 years.
And then you're like, I'm out.
Yeah, well, I'll be honest with you, Jay, and it's different now.
Sure.
But we had to buy tickets. This is how popular the Kings were. If you wanted to go to a game that was a big game against the Lakers or whomever during the regular season, or you wanted to go to a playoff game, you had to get season tickets or you weren't going to get them.
Good luck, huh?
Yeah. So that's why we decided to do it. And then it got to the point where, team fell on harder times and, we had other things we had to do with that money. But it was money well spent at the time and good for Amadrock. He's going to have a blast, Jay. You get to know all the people that you're sitting around, get kind of camaraderie there. It's
Definitely.
A tremendous way to enjoy basketball.
No, it is. It is one of those things where you kind of come in, and one thing about the Sacramento Kings, they do a good job. And I've been to a lot of other, arenas, and they do the same thing where the patrons who work down at the G1C, man, they're spot on top flight type people, right? And so they say hi, they shake hands, they kiss the babies, they give you the hugs, they root on the squad. They're very, there's always a bad apple from the tree. But there's one or two with the worm in it. But beyond that, 99.9%, man, they're just great people down there at the G1C, and they're they're selfless. They will invite you as part of the family. So I'm with you. And when you do have season tickets and the camaraderie of the people around you in your section, like I said, you do get to know them. You start to have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
How's your family? How's the child? How's your grandchild? What's going on with your significant other? Like those type of conversations are to be had.
Mm-hmm.
Amadrock, where you sitting, man?
Mm-hmm. Good question, Amadrock. What do you think? Yeah, where you gonna be sitting? It is an awful lot of fun. So looking forward to that, and it's not far off. If the first game's October 22nd, we're just a little more than 2 months away, Jay. And I know I'm pushing it. We got a lot of time left between now and then, but it's starting to feel more real.
It'll be here before you know it.
Yeah.
I'll hear you.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you. I can dig it. I'm with you.
Mm-hmm. And so will the football season. Jay, believe it or not, we got more. I don't want to say bad news, but it's not good news.
Okay.
On the injury front for the 49ers today. They got blown out by the Broncos, but they didn't play the regulars, and the second teamers actually played well early in the game. They were up 9-0, and they ended up, 30-9, whatever it was, losing to the Broncos. Jordan Watkins, the receiver, was one of the young guys that played fairly well in that game. He has a high ankle sprain, and he's out about a month, Jay. Found out this afternoon. What is going on? The 49ers had 19 players who were physically unable to play in the game because of injury. That's separate from the PUP list. So already they were dealing with all these injuries, and then a couple guys got hurt in that game. I don't know what it is. Bad luck, whatever it is. It's just A little demoralizing.
Yeah, there is something that my pops like to say it's the Colin Kaepernick curse. That's the reason why the 49ers stay hurt as much as they do. I truly do not know.
There's no explaining it.
Yeah, but I'll say this, Whitey. I'm tired of it. I'm just about at the point where I'm tired of 49er injuries happening. And, it's a tough thing to say because you don't know why they're coming. You don't know why they're happening. But damn, there's got to be something to it, though. There has to be. You can't tell me the practice schedule, the conditioning, the times they're going at it. Like, where's all my analytics people?
I don't know.
There's
good question.
The dietitians, the supplements that they're using. They need to change the program over there.
Mm-hmm. Another rookie who played well Saturday was Marquise Siegel, corner. He also got hurt in the game.
Yeah.
And I know Shanahan said Saturday, we think he'll be okay, but my goodness, on and on it goes. Another rookie who played well, undrafted defensive tackle, Sebastian Valdez, the Hulk. He has bench pressed 405 pounds, Jay, so they call him the Hulk. He played well. As far as we know, he's fine.
Yeah.
He's healthy, so that's good news.
Upton Stout hurt.
Uh-huh. Right.
Have you heard? They're talking about Upton Stout starting.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that now that Ronaldo Green is hurt?
Yeah.
And Upton Stout may start the season as the opposite of Demo?
Yeah, well, remember Friday when we were at Rancho Murrieta, we were talking about how John Lynch is already saying he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
We're comparing him to a Hall of Famer.
All right. You're a little too far, but I understand. John Lynch just hit a little bit over his skis, Mr. Lynch.
Right.
No, but that would be crazy because then that would add to the rookie the rookie total who needs to show up again for this year. We've already said there's probably about 3 to 4 rookies that need to play good ball this year for the 49ers for them to be competitive. Another one added to that total, Upton Stout, would make it, push that total up a little more. So that's super interesting.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Jared Williams says, get the injuries out now before the regular season. Campio says it's bad luck. That's what you got. That's what you got. A little Harold Melvin in the Blues reference. Yellowvision Richardson says it's Shanahan. He runs his players into the dirt. And Amadrock says JR seats are section 124, row J seats 5 and 6. So there you go.
Say that one more time.
Section 124
okay.
for Amadrock.
Yeah.
Row J seats 5 and 6.
Okay. So you're on the opposite side of where I always sit. Yeah, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Literally almost.
124, those are nice seats, right?
Yes, sir. Well, the great thing about the G1C is anything in the lower bowl is top flight.
Yep.
You're solid. I mean, they didn't build the 200 and 300 and 400 either. 1s or 2s. That's it.
Hopefully the 49ers injury issues will not be something that carries on into the season, but let's face it typically does. We got a ways to go here.
Of course.
Tell you why the NFL preseason is more meaningless than ever. And the game Saturday, it was off. 49ers got off to a great start. The defense actually was playing with a lot of energy, and it's hard not to see that and say, yeah, Robert Saleh. But again, that's one of those things that you probably are, as Jay said, over your skis if you're going to try to draw too many conclusions from the preseason. But it looked good for a while until it didn't.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. More and more NFL teams are relying on the scrimmages that they're having with other teams. The 49ers scrimmage, I think, Thursday against the Raiders. And for the teams, those are much more significant and much more valuable than the preseason games because the coaches can get controlled, targeted work done, as SI.com points out. They can generate all of the situations and scenarios they need to see in a joint practice while getting their teams ready to go. So preseason games matter less than they ever used to. They never mattered, but teams now have found that they can much more efficiently prepare their teams and find out how good their players are with the scrimmages. And so that leads to the question, when are they going to start showing the scrimmages on TV? When are they going to start monetizing that? Because it's the NFL. I don't care if they do or not, but once someone realizes, hey, we can make more money doing that, they're going to.
Yeah, maybe you do it kind of like what you see with the NBA. Maybe you just stream it via your own website.
Sure.
Something like that. I'm not sure. Can you really push a scrimmage to me and me pay for it?
It's football. Do people watch the combine?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
You might be right, Whitey.
You know,
you shouldn't be giving out your ideas. Maybe you should take that to the NFL brass and see if you can make some money off of that.
Yeah, I stole it from whoever.
Oh, okay, I got
Connor,
you.
not Connor Orr or
Connor Orr?
Robert Breer, whoever it was.
Yep,
it's a great idea. It's like, man, you're so right.
Yeah,
the NFL does not miss opportunities to monetize things.
It's overkill, no doubt about it. The NFL is overkill, but there are people who eat it up. It's sweet as ice cream for a lot of folks. So I can understand if they were to go that way. For me, it wouldn't happen. I would venture to say there are a lot of fans who could care less, but these are the times that pique people's interest right now. We're talking about people in shorts, and shoulder pads and a helmet. We're talking about people who running, talking about scrimmages. Half the time, these guys aren't even in pads. So it's to each their own. If you love it, one thing we won't do is tell you how to fan. The NFL probably will take advantage as we move forward. I wouldn't be in it, but I could see a team streaming it via their website, YouTube page, something of that sort.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember, 20-something years ago when Dan Snyder used to charge people to watch. They were the Redskins and their practices and training camp drills. I remember, we all thought, that's terrible. I think everybody does that now to some degree, because they realized, all right, we can make money. So at the time, it seemed greedy and unthinkable. And now I think there's other teams that do it. Why not? You're serving your customers. I want to, as we're talking about the preseason here and what's right and what's wrong, I want to salute Dan Campbell and Raheem Morris. There was a game over the weekend, the Lions and the Falcons, Friday night. And in the fourth quarter, their preseason game was stalled when, unfortunately, Lions safety Morris Norris suffered a neck injury. I think he's in the hospital now. They say he's doing better. He had concussion. He's getting checked for concussion. And I think he had some of those, I believe they call them fencing responses, where he's having involuntary movements on the ground. So the players didn't know what to do. And Dan Campbell and Raheem Morris decided, we're just not going to play. We're just going to take a knee the rest of the way. We found out today, as Dan Campbell was talking to the reporters, he said, that's not what the league wanted us to do.
Of course not.
Don't do this to me, he said. Raheem and I agreed that was what we were going to do. We talked to, referee Sean Hockley. He let us know the game is still on. So the official said, we're still playing. We communicated with each other. We told Sean, we'll be taking knees. And he said, I understand, and that's the way it went. Then the game was called. But the official edict from the league was, we got to finish the game. And the coaches said, no, we're not doing that. You want us to do that, you're going to get a kneel down every play.
Well, shouts out to them.
Yes.
I saw this, and it's admirable. They made the right move.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen over the last few years, some catastrophic injuries.
Mm-hmm.
We all know, DeMar Hamlin situation that happened with Buffalo. So when you have catastrophic injuries, on the field, we have to understand these people are human, man. They have families. There's things to worry about besides the football game.
Right.
And how many times have we seen it in preseason, regular season, where someone suffers a catastrophic injury and the game must go on? If there's an opportunity to shut it down, then shut it down. It just shows you, and this is my trepidation with the NFL. I sound like a broken record sometimes. It is over the top. People who love the NFL are over the top sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to bring in, personable humanity. A young man had a serious injury. Move on. This preseason don't care. This doesn't even matter.
I'll give you a good example of that, Jay. Maybe you saw this. I believe Brody Brazil, who's been on our show, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
I think he retweeted this. The NFL or one of the teams posted to social media an update on the situation. And then a fan comes back with, well, what are they going to do about the over-unders? Am I going to, are they going to pay? And he's, serious.
I'm trying to tell you.
What are the FanDuel going to do? Are they going to pay off for this game? What are they going to do? And it's
right.
like, bro, that's not it.
Yeah. But it is, though. And that's why I argue all the time. The NFL is based upon gambling.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fantasy and gambling rule the NFL. And that's cool. No problem. Do what you got to do. As we said, I'm not going to tell you how to fan. But I think we have to have a true conversation and be real about the situation when it comes to the NFL is king because of that. It's not so much of everything else that's evolved and everything that's around it. a lot of what makes the NFL, the reason why it's past baseball, among other things, is because of the gambling and fantasy. The reason why it is in front of the NBA is because of fantasy and gambling. That's just the truth. There aren't that many people tied into, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and watch the Titans versus the Cardinals. No, I'm going to watch Cam Ward versus Kyler Murray, and I need one of those guys to go off and throw for 300 and score a couple touchdowns. You're not even invested in the true essence of the game. You're invested in what's coming back to you. More power to you. But I'm keeping it real with the conversation and thought about it. I need a little more NFL fans to do so.
Well, thank goodness that you had two coaches who, and this is pretty typical, but you had two coaches who were NFL players, right? I believe Raheem Morris was an NFL player. He's a football player. So coaches, and Dan Campbell's is, rugged and hard-nosed as they come, but guys who've been players recognize it's disrespectful to any of our players to play in the wake of that. They know that. People in the league offices don't recognize that. People who have played, Dan Campbell and Raheem Morris, recognize, we can't do, it's not right to keep playing. So I give them credit for that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. The other thing is, Jay, to your point, it's interesting as I was hearing you talk, you're talking about how football is so popular because of fantasy football. Sure it is.
Of course.
But I remember a time, and you may as well, before we really had fantasy football, and pro football was still growing by leaps and bounds. And I think the popularity of fantasy football, I think that kind of helped. It's one of the things that helped the NFL get over that speed bump when everyone was worried back in 2011 about concussions and the future of the game. It's like, yeah, that's all right. We have our fantasy draft this week. We really don't
even care. That's the
league
point.
Is doing just enough to make us think, okay, great. They're covering their behinds on it, and they're making it look like they care, and that's fine with me because I got my fantasy draft.
Of course, and that's the point of it. You got somebody to square always, peer square. What about people fighting for their damn careers?
Yeah.
What? What do you mean? That's the point. That's what you're missing.
But it's not just the fans, as someone points out here, the great Amendraw, who's having a day already. Tua is a prime example of that. He should have been shut down.
Yes. There's a fine line. There's a gray area, no doubt about it. When you're playing football, it's brutal. No doubt about that, right? We can have a good understanding. It's animalistic. It is part of, as we've said before on the show, when you choose to play football, what comes within it, right? And when you talk to and have the opportunity to talk to all football retirees, people who have played the game for a long time, I've never met a person that said, you know what, I shouldn't have played. Truly, I've never met a person that's ever said, you know what, nah, I would have traded it in. Now, we've seen as of late, some people retire early or say, you know what, for health reasons, I'm going to go ahead and bow out. But I've never heard anybody say, you know what, I regret playing the sport of football. So there's a fine line. Absolutely go make your money. Who in the hell stopping anybody to go make your chips? 530. If there's anybody that's talking about it, somebody that come from where I come from, 530. Like, have understanding. You're from 530, your country. You wouldn't understand. You don't get it. Right? That's what they would say to me. No one's stopping anybody from making your money or fighting to make your money. Please, by all means, go get your chips. But there is a point to it to where safety becomes greater than money. Some people don't believe that. Some people don't live their lives like that. All I say is this: if you're not here to spend your money, what good is money? If you can't function with your money, then what good is having the money? Unless you want to say, hey, you know what? I'm leaving it to my legacy, to my family. Absolutely. Nobody got no problem with that.
From the 916, if you're betting on preseason football, you probably need help.
Teach their own, baby.
If that's true, I don't agree with that. If that's true, though, there are a lot of people that need help.
Oh, yeah.
People it's fun.
It's part of the game.
I don't do it, but yes.
It's part of the game.
People enjoy it too much because, when you're right on whatever it is, you get those endorphins going and you get addicted.
Yeah, well,
that's that you get. That's part of being a fan, even if you don't bet.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You root for your team wins.
Absolutely.
I feel great.
Yeah.
Let's do that again.
You ain't lying. Yeah, there is something to winning, right?
Yeah.
And it flips a switch for a lot of people. Absolutely. No doubt about it. So People are addicted to winning. People are addicted to coming out on top. The Jordans, the Kobes. You hear about it. It's an addiction. It's something that they can't shake loose. It's something that, you know what, as you said, the endorphins shoot off, and I can't live or I can't be satisfied any other way. That's part of the game.
Yeah.
Fan how you want to fan. Get it how you want to get it. Make the money how you want to make your money. The only person that got to live with it is you.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt about it.
Yes.
No problems with that.
But in some instances, and Friday was one of them, we need to have some respect for what's actually going on. As far as the concussions in the future of football, and, you know, that's really not a discussion much anymore, although you see numbers dwindling in high school. I think we have more schools now, Jay, more than ever, playing like 7-man football because they don't have as many players.
Yeah.
That's okay. I remember talking to Eric Davis about 2011. I was working at a station with Eric Davis.
What, ED?
Yeah. And he was saying, we were talking about the future of football at that time, and he said, football's always going to be around. He said, it's too much fun. We're talking about playing it. And as you and I have said, Jay, and anyone who's really played football knows, it's not for everybody.
No,
you know, if you're slight and you're small, it's like you probably shouldn't be playing. But if you
why?
If you're just really small, I mean, unless you have that, yeah, you know, I think some kids are forced to play. You got to get out there and put hair on your chest, like, and then no, that's not a fair fight. But
people still saying that?
I don't know. I'm assuming
okay.
so.
All right.
All I'm saying is, if you play football and you're able to play it all, it's really fun.
It is.
And yeah, there's danger. Yeah. It's a really dangerous sport, but it is fun.
The best part is I always appreciated smacking somebody. I didn't, you know, getting hit is getting hit. It's part of the game. But I always like laying a, you know, shoulder on somebody. That's what made me excited. So
yeah. See, I just like having the ball and having people chasing you and they can't catch you. That is, or you see a hole, you know?
Right.
I'm playing Pop Warner. I didn't play football at a high level.
Okay.
First time I ever carried the ball, and I remember, you know, you run it in practice, and the hole's supposed to be there. And I get up to the line of scrimmage, like, the hole's not where it's supposed to be. Well, then go to where the hole is, idiot. This is in my brain, you know, and you burst through there. It's such a rush.
Would you have good foot speed?
Pretty good.
Cutback opportunity?
Pretty good.
That a boy?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
What was the name of the Pop Warner squad?
Vallejo Vikings.
Vallejo Vikings.
Yeah.
Purple people eaters?
Yeah. And that's, you know, a billion people do that. I'm not saying I was anything special. I'm just saying, you know, Jay, it's fun.
Yeah, no, it is. Playing any sport is.
Yeah.
Have you ever played a sport and be like, you know, this is boring? Beside golf.
I'm trying to think.
What's the one that you like? Even darts, table tennis, ping pong, horseshoes. It's fun.
Any sport is boring when you're getting the
smacked.
stuffings knocked out of you. But
I got one. I got a few of them actually.
Do you?
Have you ever played frisbee golf?
I have.
Did you like it?
When I played it well. I could never figure
out.
You had
game?
I didn't really. I could never figure out how to throw it overhand. Have you done that?
No.
Yeah, that's how you have to. If you're, you know, a long distance real frisbee golf player, you got to be able to do it.
Right.
And I can't figure it out. But I like frisbee golf.
Okay. What about?
You don't care for that?
It wasn't for me. What about like croquet or cricket?
See, we used to just get the croquet set and dig holes and play golf with it. We didn't actually play it. I don't know if we actually played croquet, so I don't know.
Here goes one. My
golf, by the way, is really fun.
Okay, says you. Fan how you want.
Yeah.
One of the I used to walk by the track coach in college every single time. You had to go by the door to go to baseball office, and on his door said, "We do for fun what people do for punishment." And it always stuck with me. So I dip my head in there and be like, man, who the hell wants to run track? But people love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. I never could understand how someone could get the entertainment or the excitement of running track.
I think and we'll take a break here real quick.
Especially like the 5,000.
Jay, gets back to those endorphins again. I remember reading a story about a guy who was a distance runner. I don't know if he was in a race or not. And he's running, 3 miles, 5 miles, whatever it is. And at one point he's by the road and something hits him in the head, like, ow, rock hit me, whatever. He's fine. He runs the rest of the race, finishes. He got shot in the head.
What?
A bullet grazed him.
By who? Where?
I don't know. They don't know. But he's like, it didn't really hurt because once you're running, you have those endorphins going. It's like a natural pain
Ooh, I got to see that.
Yeah.
I'm going to look that story up.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
He caught some lead and kept going.
You didn't have to have surgery to remove it, but a bullet grazed him. Yeah.
Damn.
And he's like, yeah, I feel fine. All right.
A lot of endorphin, brother.
Mm-hmm. It was a pretty good weekend for NFL rookie quarterbacks. In fact, it was a really good weekend for NFL rookie quarterbacks. Does any of that matter? We're back with that. Jane Whitey. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
Time to check out
25 award-winning
Casino.
years in Northern California. Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip, if a firm presents as local, but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Hi, Sacramento. It's the No Surprise Guys at Bell Brothers. AC acting up? Call Bell Brothers. Need a new system? Get $2,500 off, 0% financing and no payments for 12 months and approved credit. Just need a tune-up? Get an $87 AC maintenance with same-day appointments. You're on time, quote up front, and fix it right. No surprises. Call Bell Brothers or book at theNoSurpriseGuys.com.
The Hagen Oaks Cutting Edge Putter Fitting Studio offers you more technology, more choices, and more service. Hagen Oaks wants to be your go-to total golf game fitter. With $30,000 worth of state-of-the-art technology ready for your fitting, Hagen Oaks will help you make your best putting stroke while finding the best putter design, shape, hosel, length, and loft for your game. Schedule your fitting at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531 for more.
The Giant Summer Sale is here. Get giant savings on our giant selection only at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save during the Honda Summer Event and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. See all our specials at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Labor Day, our annual celebration of workers and their achievements, was first observed in New York, and the first Monday in September became a national holiday in 1894. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Each year we commemorate Labor Day with parades, picnics, and family gatherings. And right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings is celebrating with their exceptional whole store Labor Day sale. Would you like to refresh your living room? Would you like to restyle your bedroom? Maybe you want to redesign your home office. No matter whether it's your dining room, kids' rooms, accents, or accessories, Naturewood's unique store-wide Labor Day sale offers savings in every department and savings on every brand like Stanton, Omnia, Stickley, Flex Steel, and all the rest. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. I love spending a day on the golf course with invited friends, but not with uninvited mosquitoes, which can carry serious diseases like West Nile virus. Don't let mosquito bites ruin your round or your health. Stay safe while playing golf, hiking, or enjoying the outdoors with family. Defend yourself with insect repellent. For tips about your golf game, listen for Golf to Go. But for more tips on protecting yourself and your home from mosquitoes, visit fightthebite.net. Labor Day, our annual celebration of workers and their achievements, was first observed in New York, and the first Monday in September became a national holiday in 1894. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Each year we commemorate Labor Day with parades, picnics, and family gatherings. And right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings is celebrating with their exceptional whole store Labor Day sale. Would you like to refresh your living room? Would you like to restyle your bedroom? Maybe you want to redesign your home office. No matter whether it's your dining room, kids' rooms, accents, or accessories, Naturewood's unique store-wide Labor Day sale offers savings in every department and savings on every brand like Stanton, Omnia, Stickley, Flex Steel, and all the rest of the award-winning furniture. When it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable Labor Day sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Low Cash,
Vincent Mason, and Averyana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Les Schwab Tire Centers and Bare Bones Workwear. Tickets at CITPFest.com.
Summer's flying by, and that back-to-school checklist, it's growing fast. New backpack? Check. School supplies? Check. Dentist appointment? Let's fix that. Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics is making it easy to cross dental checkups off your summer list fast with priority scheduling for new patients and kid-friendly care that makes them smile. It's one less thing to worry about before fall. Call now or book online at kidscaredental.com. That's kidscaredental.com because healthy smiles should be the easiest thing to check off your summer list.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Every year about this time, Mike Sando compiles the results of a poll of GMs and coaches around the NFL, and he puts together his annual quarterback tiers. So tiers 1, tier 2, tier 3, and on and on. And this year's tiers listing came out today, so we're going to go over that at 3, and Mike Sando himself is going to join us with more on that. I just, we all talk about who's the best quarterback, most overrated, underrated, and Mike does a great job, I think, Jay. He does a good job with a really unique framing of it where it's not so much his opinion, it's the opinions of the people who actually make the decisions on some of these players.
Yeah, you're 100% right, Whitey.
So I look forward to that.
What was it? Six scouts, 6 general managers, 5 coaches or something. Yeah, there's a breakdown of it. I'll make sure we have it when Mike comes on and we talk about it. But there's about 20 people in all that he kind of conversates and talks to. So yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah,
Mike does a great job, and this is when he shines.
Yeah,
this is when he loves to shine too. This is his time to shine.
Yeah, he's an excellent football writer, and a lot of times during the year we try to get him, and he's just traveling, too busy, but he usually makes time for us to talk about the tiers list. So looking forward to that. Speaking of football, we have some interesting comments here in the text line. First time ever paid for NFL League Pass was when I played fantasy football.
Yeah, shout out.
Why'd you do that? Red Zone channel. It's perfect for fantasy. You don't have to pay extra for that, but whatever.
Why do you let the man fan or he or her fan how they want to fan?
Yeah. One of the reasons I backed off of playing fantasy, and I agree with you, Jay, if you like it, you enjoy it, do it. But, you're watching a game and then the scroll comes up with just a score update. And it's like, oh, husband, did my running back score a touchdown? And it's like, man, this is not that healthy.
It takes away from watching the intricacies of of a game, right?
Yeah.
And more times than not,
for me,
it probably why. Yeah, I'm with you. But for me, for fantasy, I never could keep up with it. Like it's too much going on, and you have to make trades. And if you don't, then people throughout the league is like, oh man, you're not active enough. You're not keeping up with your team. Waiver wire. You're always number one.
Right.
So you have to be active within the league. And if you don't, then I think you're kind of doing everybody a disservice.
Yeah. If you want to win, you got to be really active and make your lineups. And yeah, and I remember one year, who was it? Brian Westbrook was on the Eagles, I had him on my fantasy team, and they had a game on Thursday night, Thanksgiving. And so that day I had to make my lineup. I'm going to play him, and he had been hurt. So he was, I think, questionable. But, it was a short week. So I didn't play him. And I come home that night, and I'm watching the highlights. And there's Westbrook scores a touchdown. And then he scores his second touchdown. And I'm like, oh, man, I should have played him. He scored 4 touchdowns that night. Those are the type of things that just drive me crazy, Jay. I think I won that week anyway, for what it matters. But just those, I should have played that guy. I don't handle that as well as I should. It drives me nuts.
Yeah.
That's part of it. I got to be better at that if I'm going to play. Some people are like, oh, well.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't do well with it.
I got you. At least you know your limitations. You know to make sure football is enjoyable.
Yeah.
You need to stay away from fantasy.
Right.
So you know yourself.
Right.
You're fanning how you want to fan. No doubt.
From the 279, getting back to running, I was a trail runner for years. I loved it. Even completed 100 milers. Ooh.
Ooh.
From the 279, getting back to running, I was a trail runner for years. I loved it. Even completed 100 milers. Ooh. From the 279, getting back to running, I was a trail runner for years. I loved it. Even completed 100 milers.
do 100 miles running.
Yeah.
So that's here to the Bay.
I guess. Yeah.
That's a long time to be running. Could you imagine that?
I assume you'd have to have a break in there at some point, right?
Oh, I would hope so.
Because a marathon is like, well, all right, that's serious.
100 milers?
4 marathons.
So that's probably you run 40 miles, then you sleep and then jump back up and do it.
I hope so. Yeah, I have to look into
Have
that.
you ever seen those documentaries or broadcasts where they do those type of, I guess, marathons, get those type of races?
Is that the Ironman thing?
Kind of, yeah, like different type of Ironman.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some that push you to the limit to like where you're running at night, or you can kind of gauge, where you rest or where you sleep versus how you continue running, and that's interesting, man.
Yeah.
100 miles.
That's what person from the
so
279
basically
says.
from here to like Oakland Airport.
And then you might as well run back, right? If you
Hell
ran down there,
no.
you might as well run back.
Nah, I'm cool, man.
You were asking about a
100
sport,
milers?
if I ever played a sport that was boring.
Yes.
When I was in high school, I did some cross country just to get in shape for basketball.
There you go.
And it was, I was in such good shape. So I have to go across town for something. I'll just run. And I felt great, but running for me got a little tedious because somebody throw me a ball,
Right,
give me a ball.
Yeah.
What do I do with the ball? I'm just supposed to run. So
That's why I stopped playing football. I keep it real.
Really?
Is Hell Week. This is for nothing.
Yeah.
I understand you need to be in shape. Man, I'm 15. I'm 16. I'm 12. I'm in shape.
Uh-huh.
I don't need to do Hell Week to show you that I'm okay and I'm conditioned.
Mm-hmm.
I can run from, as you said, I can run 100 miles.
Right.
At the age of 15, I can run from here to Oakland and have no problem.
Yeah.
It's different than 30 years old or something like that. I never understood. And I was like, I never saw the point of, as much as I like to play, I liked defense more than offense myself, but I had no problem with that. I just could never get to the point of the conditioning for football.
Mm-hmm. From the 916, preseason means pretty much nothing unless the player looks bad. If you can't shine in preseason, you're probably average at best. So let's see real quick how the top young quarterbacks did over the weekend. Cam Ward, Titans, first pick, first round, 5 for 8, 67 yards. So that's all right, Jay? I mean, it's like, started 0 for 2. And then it's like, okay, that's a decent start.
It's over 500.
Jackson Dart, 25th pick in the first round, 12 for 19, 154 and a touchdown. 3 carries for 24 yards. So he did the type of things in his first pro game, albeit preseason, that he did in college. So that, again, that's good. It's not like, rubber stamp it, superstar. But I think if you're the Giants, you're like, that's good, right?
Oh,
all right,
no doubt.
So far, so good.
You like what you see.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Tyler Shuck of the Saints, second round, the 40th pick, 15 for 22, 165, a touchdown and a pick.
I think he's going to be the most interesting rookie this season, rookie quarterback, because he may get the keys to the squad early. And we know sometimes that's not a good thing, but if you come out and, show your tail, that may be a great thing. So he's going to have a good opportunity down there in New Orleans. I'm not really sure, what's really around him on paper that's satisfying to the Saints fan, but who knows with him? It's going to be interesting to see what he does.
He also bounced back from a really poor start. First 2 drives resulted in a field goal and a 3-play series for negative yards. Then he threw an interception that was returned for a touchdown. So after that, he kind of settled down, which in some ways is more impressive than if he just had a good game. Have that ability to overcome a bad start. Yeah, we'll take a look at the rest of the rookie QBs, how they did, including Shedeur Sanders, who opened some eyes. That's next with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
The Allen Styles Show.
Are the Kings the one team in the league that could actually benefit from one of their players having a podcast? Malik, it would probably be Malik, even though he's in all these dang trade rumors. Wouldn't it be nice if you heard stories about the Kings?
You can listen to the Allen Styles Show Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on 1140 a.m., YouTube, and the Sacktown Sports app.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that, and third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs. You sound very calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Ooma. Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Americans may not agree on much, but we agree on Social Security. We all pay in. It ought to be there when we need it. Social Security could face a funding gap in less than a decade, and I don't want to see a pay cut. I'm with AARP in the fight to protect the Social Security we earned.
Pledge to protect Social Security at aarp.org/weearnedit. That's aarp.org/weearnedit. Paid for by AARP.
Save $10,500 off MSRP. Every Silverado half-ton 5.3 at Elk Grove Chevy.
And Elk Grove Chevy has one of the largest selections in the area. Now that's big, huge. See them all at NativeChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See dealer for details. Excludes word trust and ZR2.
I'm Ken Korath with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity, introducing the 5-year price guarantee. One internet price, 5 years guaranteed. Well, the accolades keep coming in for A's first baseman Nick Kurtz. Based on batting almost 400 with a slugging percentage of nearly 1,000 in July, he becomes the 10th player to be named Player of the Month and Rookie of the Month in the same calendar month, joining the likes of Buster Posey, Mike Trout, and Aaron Judge.
Welcome to Dugout Radio, the undisputed home of Boomtown Baseball.
The Wi-Fi is booming with Xfinity, baby. Our next caller is
Stacy. How do you stay locked in on every pitch and play?
We stream it all live on Xfinity Internet with low lag, 99.99% network reliability, and speeds faster than a base runner beating the throw to home plate.
I stream on my TV, tablets, even my smart fridge.
Smart fridge.
With all those games, we gotta refuel.
Stream live baseball with Wi-Fi built for the biggest moments. Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary, not guaranteed.
Drapes and Whitey. Whitey and Drapes. You know the pair, the Drive Guys.
We have no Kyle Draper today. Kyle Draper had to have a root canal.
Root canal?
Yeah. You know, he's a tough son of a bee. But problem with root canal is, if you've ever had that or anything like it done, you know, sometimes your lips a little numb. I don't think Draper want to come in and talk about this today, Jay. I don't see what the difference would be. But he didn't want to come in. He didn't want to talk.
He's a cold piece, brother.
He didn't want to be mumbling about what he had to say. So hopefully he's feeling better. All kidding aside, and he'll be back with us tomorrow. I want to thank real quickly Mellow Vader 916 for pointing out
to Mellow Vader.
Yeah, we got some information this afternoon in the last half hour or so on Brandon Ayuk. Kyle Shanahan telling reporters today that Ayuk could be back for the 49ers Week 6 game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, that sounds about right. A couple weeks ago, folks were talking about week one. I said, man, you guys are sicker than laboratory rabbits.
Yep.
You got to be out your mind. Ain't no way, no how.
Yeah.
Week 6 sounds about right, though.
Right.
Ooh,
I would
Jawan
guess, yeah, maybe there's a chance. I was going to say maybe there's a chance he's back a week or two ahead of that. But I don't know. It's just dangerous when a team puts that game out there.
Yeah.
Because then if you don't hit it for whatever reason, people start wondering, wow, what's
failure.
wrong?
Yeah.
So for them to come out and say he could be back for week 6, they got to be pretty optimistic about that range.
No timetable. Just say, hey, listen, he comes back when he's fully healthy and the physicians pass and make sure that he's on point and there's no health risk for him to come back. That's when Brandon Ayuk comes back. I think when it comes to injuries, of course, because we're talking about fantasy, because we're talking about gambling, because we're talking about teams, needing players. We've talked about the 49ers and their injury concerns. You definitely kind of want to put a timetable on it. How many times do we see someone get injured? It's like, 2 to 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. You're looking for the time stamp. But if I was a coach, I'd definitely say when he's right, he's right.
Mm-hmm.
When he can come back is when he can come back. I'd definitely give coach speak if I was talking about people's injuries.
Yeah. I know the Warriors with James Wiseman, his last year there, they said, he could be back for Thanksgiving. He never came back.
Yeah.
He did not come back. People were wondering, and I guess he'd had to have another procedure, which they didn't share. So anyway, it can be dangerous, but I think part of it may be the 49ers are desperate for any remotely positive injury news, especially when it comes to wide receivers. It's like, I don't know if you saw Spinal Tap where all their drummers died, or Harry Potter where all the dark arts teachers, they die. It's like wide receiver for the 49ers. You're going down. Sorry. You're going to get hurt. Juwan Jennings is dealt with a calf injury. Ricky Pearsall missed some time with a hamstring issue. Marcus Robinson facing possible suspension from the NFL. We just found out today, Jordan Watkins, high ankle sprain, and then Brandon Ayuk coming off of surgery. So that is a real position of problems for the 49ers right now.
Without doubt, it is definitely something moving forward that this team is going to have to figure out. And they're probably going to rely heavy on CMC, maybe Patrick Taylor. This team, and I saw someone, 49ers reporter, insider yesterday, forgive me for not who it is, said this defense looks better than this offense. Well, absolutely they do. Because guess what? Offensively, they're missing a ton of people on the outside.
Yeah.
And, it seems like there aren't that many snaps happening for the likes of the Trent Williams of the world as well. You know what you're pretty much going to get out of Trent. So they're trying to figure out who's the backup swing tackle. They're trying to figure out probably who's going to be the B. Barch. It looks to be the left guard, but I think they're still trying to maneuver on that area too, this is something that we're going to continuously talk about. I truly believe this season, Whitey. Offensive line, man.
We always talk about that, and I've been wondering when that cleat was going to drop this year.
They seem to be very thin.
Burford struggled a little bit Saturday.
Yeah. It's interesting to see him go from tackle to guard back to tackle.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to figure out a position, but man, they are thin and at that line already. And
you're right.
Thin of top-end talent and maybe even sustainable talent as we move forward. We don't know. I've seen reports that Colton McKivitz looks 2 times better than he has over the last few years. I'll let the eye of the beholder tell me what that really means. But, man, if Colton McKivitz is probably our second best or third best, I should say, offensive lineman, we in trouble. We're in trouble.
I think they had Burford out at left tackle.
They did.
And they would like him to be able to play there when Trent Williams is out. Trent Williams doesn't usually play a whole season.
No.
But I know it's just one preseason game, but it didn't go well on Saturday.
No.
So the news on Ayuk, 49ers say he could be back for week 6. As we mentioned at the top of the hour, we're going to talk to Mike Sando. Mike Sando with this year's quarterback tiers that are out. This is based on a survey, Jay, and I looked it up. He's got the evaluations from 50 voters. It breaks down this way.
A little more than that.
6 GMs, 6 assistant GMs, 6 former GMs, 5 other executives, 8 head coaches, 19 other coaches, including 15 coordinators. So we'll get the latest, and you can check theathletic.com.
Got a full little run of
people,
huh?
Yeah. So a lot of opinions from a lot of people that, that for a living, they evaluate quarterbacks. So we'll see. I'm just glad Drapes isn't here for that reason, because Jalen Hurts is a few notches ahead of Brock Purdy. I'll just tell you that.
Yeah, I saw the list.
See that? It was close.
It was. Purdy, and I won't reveal where he is until you do, but he's right where I thought he would be. Of course, as a 49er fan, you would want to see him just a pinch higher. But honestly, he coming off the last year's record and coming off last year, especially spinning back from him, we're just all sneezing around here. What's going on?
That was
man?
a cough.
Oh, okay. I thought we were sneezing. I'm about to say we need dust around this piece. We ain't doing no spring cleaning, and we're almost to the fall now. We're in the middle of the summer. There is some things to be warranted for his spot, and I'll leave it at that. When we have that conversation, I can see it.
That's coming up top of the hour. We were just talking before we went to break about the rookie quarterbacks and how they did this weekend in their preseason openers. And we had Cam Ward did well, 5 for 8. Jackson Dart had some really nice numbers for what that's worth. Tyler Shuck started out very poorly against the Chargers and then bounced back, had a nice day yesterday. Chargers might be scary, especially defensively, Jay. We'll see. Yeah. Jalen Milroe.
Okay.
This was Thursday, Seahawks against the Raiders. 6 for 10, 61 carries. 6 for 10, 61 yards, 3 carries for 38 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a specimen.
He's
a specimen.
He looked good.
Yeah. He's a specimen.
And then Friday night, while we were at Rancho Murrieta, this was going on. Shedeur Sanders.
Acting a plumb fool.
Yeah. 5th round pick, 144, goes 14 for 23, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 carries, 19 yards. And he looked good.
Yeah, he did. He made some good throws, good decision making, looked comfortable in the pocket. You know, all the things that Mike Mayock would say, that's what I'm saying. Right? He looks the part. And I've said it as long as possible. He looks the part of a professional quarterback. I'm not sure he has spectacular upside, meaning the Josh Allen breakaway play, Pat Mahomes. But no doubt, and this goes to my recycled quarterback argument I always make, there are a bunch of quarterbacks in the league that couldn't hold a candle to Shedeur Sanders. And just in a quick game, and we're not, it's like preseason, it's like summer league. Everything's not based upon one game and one performance. But he looks like he can play football.
John Gruden, I remember he said, look, the most important thing a quarterback has to be is accurate.
Yeah.
Throwing the football. That's the reason I was so surprised that he lasted as long as he did, Shedeur did in the draft, because he's an accurate passer. And as you said, it's preseason. You can't tell much about the coverages, but the 2 touchdowns he threw, those were
on point.
Those were NFL throws.
Yeah, dimes.
Yeah,
absolutely. No, you're right, Whitey. But he's shown that throughout his career. The propensity of dotting the I and crossing the T has never been escaped Shedeur.
Right.
He's always looked the part of a professional quarterback. I think a lot of what the hesitation is he doesn't break the mold in speed. He doesn't break the mold as far as 40 time. He doesn't break the mold as far as, shaking the Ben Roethlisberger, the Josh Allen, those type of things, the Cam Ward. He doesn't shake off that many defenders, but he's a ball player. He first of all, we all know he's got the pedigree of where he comes from. We know he's been around football all his life. We know he's had the best advisors, teachers, instructors that anybody possibly could probably have, mentors as well. It befuddled me how many people looked at Shedeur and said, you know what? Nah, I don't think he's a serviceable quarterback. When you look over your shoulder and see some of the people that's on other rosters right now.
Right. An accurate passer should have great value in the NFL.
Truth.
Yeah.
Jimmy G.
You said
20 yards and in. That's the problem.
So, he's got a chance to maybe challenge for their starting job at some point. He's got to beat out Joe Flacco and with Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett. If he plays like that, he may be starting before week 4 for the Browns.
Well,
I don't know why anyone would want to do that, but on the other hand, hey, it's a starting spot in the NFL. Shedeur may be that guy, Jay.
Yeah, Stefanski came out today and said that he hasn't chose. He doesn't know. And that's talk because you got Deshaun Watson, who was sitting over on the sideline. He's definitely hurt. You also have another rookie. I'm not.
You got to see how he plays.
Yeah. I'm not exactly sure. You see Flacco though. Flacco was over there enjoying himself. He's laughing. He's comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the ring.
He's going to start week 1.
Of course, I think so too. Yeah, I'm with you, and I think that's why he felt so comfortable. It's like, right now this will be my squad, and I'll go ahead and mentor the young pup over that way and figure it out. Shador is probably the future. That's the way I see it. But who knows?
Yes. Well, the new quarterback tiers are out in The Athletic, and the guy who puts them together every year, Mike Sando himself, joins us next to break it down. Drive Guys, Jay and Whitey today. Sacktown Sports.
Drive Guys.
From the 925, Braun has not lived up to his end of the bargain. Fake bubble ring is a joke.
Is that Daryl Morey's burner?
Would you want LeBron to join Sabonis to finish his career where he started?
Kings fans, would they want LeBron right now? Right now.
You can listen to the Drive Guys Monday through Friday from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 1140 a.m., YouTube, and the Sacktown Sports app.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, it's Alan Stiles. Have an injury? Call downtown. DTLA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222. And visit them at calldowntown.com. Text charges may apply.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and skip the regular line at the airport and pay for speedy security. Imagine not having to quickly unpack and pack at the place you already came packed to. And wearing your shoes the whole time you're there? You can't put a price on that kind of luxury. Well, actually you can, and you paid for it. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for speedy security. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports, 1140. There is no better duo. Nope. Never.
It's the Drive Guys.
Right here on Sacktown Sports.
Today it's Whitey and Jay. Kyle Draper should be back with us tomorrow getting that little root canal stuff done. Hopefully he's feeling better. Thanks for being with us. Mike Sando's going to join us in about 5 minutes from The Athletic with breakdown of his latest quarterback tiers, which just came out today. Where's Brock Purdy? You got tier 1, the elites, tier 2, really good guys, tier 3, and so on and so on. And that's based not so much on Mike's opinion as it is on the opinions of coaches and GMs and scouts and people of that nature. So we've got that coming up just about 2.5 minutes or so. Mike Sando's going to join us. Gives us just a few minutes here, Jay, to go over once again the Kings season opening schedule. This is the week the NBA is going to announce their schedule. Thursday is officially the day of the schedule release, but they're taking their sweet time with this. It actually started Friday with word of the TV games for opening night and the Christmas games. Tomorrow, Jay, on Good Morning America and the Today Show, they're going to have more information on the schedule. So this is going to be a long, drawn-out process for the NBA Schedule release.
They're taking the page out the old NFL book, huh?
Yes.
The old yellow pages.
Yes. They even have a sponsor for the schedule
Come
release,
on, man.
which I think is Ticketmaster, if I'm not mistaken.
Collecting that change, that money, that coin.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
So, according to sources, this was Sean Cunningham reported this, and Sean Cunningham has great sources. Also, he works for an NBC station, and NBC partners with the NBA this year. So you could take this to the bank. We got the Kings, as you may have heard by now. They will open the season Wednesday, October the 22nd in Phoenix against the Suns.
That's a win.
It is. By at least 11, right, Jay?
Well, I don't know about all that, but that's a win.
You're right.
I'm going to stay in pocket. I'm going to stay in pocket.
Who do the Suns have left?
Devin Booker.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
D. Brooks.
Yeah, but they're just falling apart. They got rid of KD. Yeah, they're pulling that team apart. So, opening night, though, we'll see. I like the Kings in that one, though. Kings home opener, Golden One Center versus the Utah Jazz, Friday, October 24th. That's a must win.
That's a win.
You got to beat the Utah Jazz in your home opener. Am I
Let me
right?
tell you lose to the Jazz on game 1 of G1C, it's going to be a cold day in Sacramento.
Yes.
And I ain't talking about weather-wise. You better not lose to Utah.
To your point, Jay, you got two teams. You open with two teams that finish behind you. And it's just 2 games. You remember you go back to the Beam team year and the Kings got off to a bad start and it didn't matter. But if the Kings were to lose both those games, we'd be getting a lot of calls. Now, obviously, there'd be a lot of time to turn it around, and that would be an overreaction. But if the Kings, with Dennis Schroeder at the point, if they were to lose at Phoenix and come home to lose to Utah,
I'm going to take off.
It'd be a lot of overreaction.
I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I might just put it in right now just in case. No, I got faith in my guys.
I do too.
I got faith in Coach Christie and B. Jack and company. They're not losing to no damn Utah Jazz.
No, I don't think so.
Especially not in Sacramento, man.
But you see my point, right?
Oh,
because now fans are kind of like, all right, what do you got?
I see it clearly. Clearly. Without hesitation. In 3D. Yeah. I definitely see your point. There better be, even if you lose to the Suns, you come back home, you damn sure better beat the Jazz.
Yeah, so that'll be a special night. It always is, but a Friday night, October 24th. You think Emron will take you and me again, Jay? Will he get tickets for us?
Oh, no, but I might take you guys.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
You might be able to swing it,
all right.
Put it on me.
Okay.
Wow. No problem on that. Amadrock's got a couple. We might be able to reach out to Amadrock,
He does.
too.
He probably won't want his tickets for opening night.
No, I doubt it. It's all – see, once you get into the ticket racketeering, it's all about making your money back, too.
Yeah. That's you hear about people that have split season ticket packages, huh? Yeah. And you can sell them, and then do you want them for this night? And then, of course, the Kings' next home game, Sunday, October 26th versus the Lakers. So at Phoenix on the 22nd, 24th, home against Utah, and then Sunday the 26th against the Lakers. Those are the first 3 games for the Kings. We'll find out soon enough what the rest of the schedule looks like as we start to hear bits and pieces about the national TV schedule. I'm just curious how many nationally televised games the Kings are going to get this year. They'll get some NBA TV games. I don't expect a lot this year, and that's fine. But if we do get any, maybe against the Warriors, it's always nice to find out what those are and then circle those dates ahead of time because that's a nice little opportunity for the fans and for Sacramento to show off a little bit. And it's really good for the league. It's really good for the NBA to be showing national games from Sacramento where fans behave the way fans around the league are supposed to behave, Jay. We give everyone a lesson. Yeah, this is how you act in an NBA game. This is how you cheer for your team.
Yeah, we set the standard. We're setting the bar here. Matter of fact, we're looking across the league, not only the NBA, but other leagues, the 12th man up in Seattle.
Yeah.
We're looking at Alabama and things like that, Michigan. That's how we're trying to set our fans up. We want to be some of the creme de la creme, the top of the top.
Now, our next guest has always had a soft spot for Sacramento. Senior writer for The Athletic, senior NFL writer. And every year about this time, he comes out with his quarterback tiers, which are based on a survey of 50 NFL coaches and executives. It's always fun to go over the quarterback tiers with Mike Sando. Mike, how are you? And congrats on the new tiers. What's going on?
Hey, thanks. Not too much. Yeah, I just got back from the training camp trip, and it's fun. Always fun to discuss this stuff.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Before we get to that, Mike, why in the world are the 49ers always dealing with so many injuries? What is going on?
Well, yeah, that was a big problem for him last year. Hopefully it's not going to continue through this whole season. As long as they keep their quarterback upright, they'll have a chance, I think.
Okay. Yeah, we just found out today that Jordan Watkins, a rookie who played well Saturday, that he has a high ankle sprain, and Ayuk, they say he'll be back in about week 6. So anyway, we're just we're trying to stay calm with all that. Mike, who are the new members of Tier 1 this year? Who are the new Tier 1 quarterbacks according to your panel?
Okay, Lamar Jackson, finally. I think that's been a long time coming. And then Matthew Stafford is too, but I wouldn't make too much of that because he was right on that border for a long time, very high in Tier 2, and I think he got 5 more votes in Tier 1. It just tipped him over. But Lamar went really rocketing higher. I think we've seen not only 2 really great years from him after some injury years, but also, they can no longer say he was holding them back in the playoffs. I think that was always an issue for him early in the career, where concerns about him as a passer showed up big in the playoffs, but he made the good passes in the playoffs this year. It's not his fault Mark Andrews dropped the ball with the game on the line. He really showed up.
Yeah, Mike, I'm surprised, a little embarrassed because I'm a faithful reader of your tiers and I'm a big Mike Sando fan. I didn't realize that Lamar hadn't been in Tier 1 before. And by the way, Tier 1 by definition, a Tier 1 quarterback can carry his team each week. The team wins because of him. He expertly handles pure passing situations. He has no real holes in his game. Were you surprised Matt Stafford made his way into Tier 1?
A little bit, yeah. The things that surprised me a little bit was Stafford, although there's context that I gave on that. And then I thought Jared Goff might fall down, even though he's been really good the last few years with Ben Johnson, his acclaimed offensive coordinator, leaving. I thought some of the votes for Goff might go with him, that there could be some doubters, but he actually moved up a little bit. There's been some debate over whether Jalen Hurts should be higher coming off a Super Bowl, but they took the ball out of the quarterback's hands a little bit there with Saquon Barkley. I think it's weird seeing Aaron Rodgers down in Tier 3. No one really knows what to expect. There was a lot of differing opinions on him. I think you could justify any of those opinions. We just need to see. Yeah. So those are some. I think if you would have said Caleb Williams was going to be 4th among the rookies from last year, quarterbacks, that would have been a surprise at one point, but maybe not now.
Mike, one of the things that I find super, super interesting when I look at the tiers is Baker Mayfield. I'm a Baker Mayfield guy. I've always thought he is a capable quarterback, and he's proven that over the last couple of years, on top of some of the things that he did early in his career, taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to the playoffs. He jumped up a tier. He moved not only a tier, but he jumped up and flew in front of people, including Brock Purdy, who we love around here. Explain how Baker's, I guess, case was made this year by some of the panel.
Yeah, so Baker Mayfield, people had a high opinion of him. If you remember, obviously coming out of college, he was number 1 pick, and then he had a good year with Cleveland, and it went south. I think what's really, he got people's attention last year, meaning in 2023, good year with Tampa. I think when he stacked it again with a different offensive coordinator again, he's had back-to-back years with offensive coordinators who were first time on the job, had never been primary play callers before, and he put together, top 10 offense type of seasons. So I think that second year with yet another offensive coordinator was why he got the big push back into the range he was at maybe after his first year in the league, even a little higher than that.
Yeah, it's amazing. Even when the Browns get it right drafting a quarterback, they end up getting it wrong.
Right?
Mike Sando with us. We're looking at his quarterback tiers in The Athletic based on votes from coaches and GMs. So Tier 1 is Mahomes and Burrow and Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Matthew Stafford. And then, Mike, as you well know, Tier 2, wow, we have a real surprise at the top. How did Jaden Daniels make tier history, and what's the consensus on why he's been so good so early in his career?
Well, you're surprised that he's that high?
In a way. I mean, I know he's that good, but a little bit. I am.
Yeah, so I would say this. You look at where that franchise has been, right? And then not just having a good rookie season, but they went to the championship game.
Yeah.
So that's a huge validation. It's almost like getting a second season of results, right? When you do it in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Very good at the end of games, too, throughout this season. I think we saw early in the year, they were on TV against Cincinnati, and he dropped that perfect pass, to to win the game and outduel Joe Burrow. So I think the combination of critical moments, the franchise's history, doing it in the playoffs, and then, winning without having a top defense was very hard to do. And then the dual threat component. I mean, he wasn't just just a quarterback, but he I think he had over 800 yards rushing, which is very notable for him as well. So, people didn't want to put him all the way in tier 1. They want to see another year, but they loved what they saw. He broke CJ Stroud's record in my quarterback tiers, which go back to 2014 for the highest debut by a second-year player. So, Stroud regressed a little in his second year. We'll see what Daniels can do.
Mikey, I'll just go out there and say it. I'm not a huge Joe Burrow guy. And of course, I'm not disrespecting any of the panel, GMs, assistant coaches, all those type of people. I just don't see a lot of what a lot of people see. I get the 1 year taking his team to the Super Bowl, but I don't see the spectacularness that everybody sees with Joe Burrow. What are you hearing behind the scenes of why people? I mean, he's literally tied with Pat Mahomes on your list.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's seen as possibly the best pure passer in the league. Just being able to when you look at his numbers, I mean, they're obviously they had to do it last year without the defense. He had a terrible defense, so you're going to throw the ball more. But I think last year he led the league in pass completions, pass attempts, pass yards, pass touchdowns. It was pretty spectacular for keeping that team with a 9-8 record with really a bottom 5 defense. You would say they couldn't stop anybody. So, they had to put it on him. It wasn't like they were defense and run game. It was Joe Burrow throwing the ball, and he's super accurate. He's a great competitor. Like you said, he's had his team in the Super Bowl, which, let's remember, it's the Bengals, right? I mean,
but they were great defensively that year.
They were great defensively that year, yeah. And so that's the difference. I mean, to be able to have a winning record with a bottom 5 defense is pretty rare. It takes a special quarterback to do that.
So, and Mike Sando with us from The Athletic. So Jaden Daniels probably would have been in tier 1, but it's almost like when Hall of Fame voters in the old days, they didn't want to put someone in on a first ballot. Is it just that the voters were like, we just have to see more based on what we've seen so far? He's phenomenal, but we need to see a little more. Is that it basically?
Yeah. I think there's something to that. When you come back the second year and now everyone's, had the film on you and they've broken down your offense, and then can you do it again? I think there's really something to that, especially when you look at the history. Cliff Kingsbury was with Kyler Murray. It was hot for a while, then wasn't. That may have had as much to do with Kyler as it did with Cliff Kingsbury. But let's just see, a little bit of a college flavor to that offense. Does that get figured out in the second year? And I think that's reasonable.
Mm-hmm. So tier 2, by definition, quarterback who can carry his team sometimes, not as consistently. He can handle pure passing situations in doses and or possesses other dimensions that are special enough to elevate him above tier 3. He has a hole or two in his game. It goes Jaden Daniels, Justin Herbert, Jared Goff, CJ Stroud, Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield, Dak Prescott, Jordan Love, and Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy barely made it into tier 2. What are the scouts and coaches thinking of Brock Purdy's game these days, Mike?
So I think the fact that, it fell off around him, some might have seen that as, hey, evidence that he should maybe go up in this poll, but they also finished 6-11. So if he overcame it, he didn't overcome it enough for them to win. Mm-hmm. It wasn't, and we can debate whether that's because he didn't have enough weapons around him. That very much, he wasn't throwing to, Jamar Chase last year, the last time I looked. So that could be a good point of debate. I thought I was a little bit more impressed with him last year, actually, handling what he did. Mm-hmm. But he lost a good number of the tier 2 votes he had, not enough to fall out of tier 2, but to put him on the precipice to where if he were to have just an okay season this year, I think he might go into tier 3. We'll see, though. He may bounce back.
Joined by Mike Sando of The Athletic. When you look at tier 2 before you kick down to tier 3, Mike, after Jaden Daniels, and I believe someone who's highly revered throughout the league is Justin Herbert, even though he hasn't had postseason success and some would argue maybe not regular season success. The 8 to which is Jared Goff, CJ Stroud, Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield, Dak Prescott, Jordan Love, Brock Purdy. Could you argue that you heard from your panel that they're almost interchangeable? They all feel like, 1 week they could be better than the next. You got the Dak Prescotts in there. Like, where that kind of stint of your panel, did you kind of see they're all interchangeable?
Yeah, I think Jordan Love, sometimes when they haven't played as much, Jordan Love, maybe people still hold out hope that he will, climb higher out of that. I think that's certainly true for CJ Stroud too, that maybe those guys together. But I think with these other ones like Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield, Dak Prescott, and probably to some extent Brock Purdy, just because of who he is physically, not super special physically, you feel like you know what they are. Right. So those are the types of guys that can look really good if it's right around them. But if it's not, they could struggle. And I think, or be good, but not great. I think that's kind of what tier 2 often is.
Yeah. Talking to Mike Sando here about his quarterback tiers. This year's tiers coming out today in the Athletic. I want to ask about Jalen Hurts, and full disclosure, Mike, we have a member of our show here, Kyle Draper, who's a big Eagles fan, and he's not here today, thank goodness, or we'd never hear the end of Jalen Hurts being ahead of Brock Purdy in the tiers. But Jalen Hurts, an interesting player, right? It's interesting to me that the panelists seem to have a hard time, and maybe they shouldn't, but they don't really separate team success from the quarterback that much, do they? I mean, if a team does well, the quarterback's ratings seem to go up and vice versa. Is that fair?
It's funny. The first show I did today was on ESPN, and the host was like all over me because he thought Hurts was too low as a Super Bowl winning quarterback. So there's a lot of different opinions on that, but I think Hurts is just perfectly placed to me because he's really done everything they've asked of him. We know that he has a very good team around him, and that the running game was a huge component. He's part of the running game, but Saquon Barkley, they kind of minimized the quarterback's role. I don't think he's somebody you absolutely fear in the 2-minute drill like you do maybe some of the super top quarterbacks in the league. But he's good. You can obviously win a championship with him. So I think he's just a solid 2. But if you put him on the 49ers last season, I don't know if he would have produced better than Purdy did. Right. Isn't that a reasonable thing to say? I guess I can just consistent bit too. Now, that being said, if he was there, maybe then Kyle Shanahan changes the offense and it's more of a dual threat quarterback run thing, and maybe he does too well. Right? It's some of these guys you got to build around what they do best, and for somebody like Hurts, it's a little bit of a different skill set. He could look really bad in an offense if you just forced him into an offense that didn't take advantage of some of his other abilities.
Mike, I find it super interesting as I kick down to tier 3, and tier 3 is a quarterback that is a legitimate starter but needs a heavier running game and or defense component to win. A lower volume drop back passing offense suits him best. You talked about Aaron Rodgers being in the tier 3, which is probably the lowest he's ever been in his whole career. Yeah. I would love for somebody on Pittsburgh to ask him about his tier placement. But the 2 that I find very, very interesting, and I think it is kind of where we see the type of talent. We talk about tier 2. I think if you ask most people, Trevor Lawrence, who's right there at 18, he retained his tier in tier 3. So even coming into last year, most people felt that he was a below a top 15 quarterback.
Yeah. So last year, I believe Kyler, Tua, and Trevor Lawrence were all about where they are this year, high tier 3, which is crazy because they're all making huge salaries. They all have like, $50 million contracts, super high earners, but they haven't been able to really drive success of their teams. Kyler Murray's had bad defenses. Trevor Lawrence has been hurt. And Tua has been hurt as well. So there's limitations with those guys also. What is Trevor Lawrence amazing at, right? I mean, not really anything. Tua is amazingly accurate, but when things fall apart around him, he can go down with the ship real fast. Late in a game when he's got to carry it, I think it's harder for him to have as a passer. And then Kyler's been, hurt, and he obviously has stature, and his height is a factor for him.
I wanted to ask you about a guy that, 49er fans going to see a couple times this year. I believe he was the biggest gainer in this year's tiers. Sam Darnold with the Seahawks. What do people what do the voters like about Sam Darnold's game?
I think a lot of people liked him coming out, then obviously cooled on him. It didn't go well for him. The way last season ended was scary for people who, had cooled on him and saw him struggle in the playoffs. Really took a lot of sacks, just didn't play as well. One of the interesting comments I got on him was that, he replaced Geno Smith. Geno Smith may be a better quarterback on a bad team, and Darnold might be a better quarterback on a good team. And some of that is just because, like, Geno Smith likes to kind of wing it, take some chances. And so if you need that type of variance for a bad team to win some games, he might be your guy. Darnold on bad teams has really struggled, but on a good team last year was sensational for a lot of the year. So I guess maybe if that's true, then how good is Seattle, right? They got rid of their number one receiver, at least on paper, in DK Metcalf. I think Jackson Smith-Njigba is probably their true number one, and they're going to lean in the run game. They're going to totally change their scheme and run the ball, probably try to take the pressure off of Sam Darnold. He's cheaper and younger, maybe with more room for development than Geno Smith. But I think the main reason they made the change was simply because it's a new coach the last couple of years in Seattle. I think Geno Smith was loyal to Pete Carroll. I think DK Metcalf was too. I think Tyler Lockett was too. I think this is a changing of the guard in Seattle to kind of go with the new coach, with his guys, in a more run-oriented offense.
Yeah, by the way, Sam Darnold was the biggest gainer over last year, Jay.
Sam's spinning it, as they like to say. Sam spins it. Mike, excuse me, what is you kind of touched to where I wanted to ask you, what was one of the most interesting facts or interesting quotes or, phrases that you got from one of the scouts or coaches on any of the quarterbacks that really has resonated with you?
So to me, it was on Caleb Williams because obviously the number one quarterback taken in the 2024 draft, he was the first of 6 in the first round. I think after 1 year, everyone could say, hey, the Bears were a bad situation. Still love Caleb Williams, but voter after voter, coach after coach, exec after exec, really raised questions about his ability to quickly process the game. He took a ton of sacks.
Yeah.
And so that was one used the word alarming. So no one's writing him off, but to see the obvious excitement over Jaden Daniels and everything he brings to the table, the real optimism on Bo Nix. I think there's, mostly positive reviews for Drake May, who was in a really bad situation. But for Caleb Williams to be the number one pick in that draft, consensus. I mean, no one was questioning taking him. And then after 1 year, to have a lot of people say the same thing, I don't know if it's a fatal flaw, but definitely a potential flaw. I thought that was pretty telling.
Wow, that is interesting. Yeah, if you haven't already, check out Mike Sando's quarterback tiers in The Athletic. Mike, thank you. You do such a great job. It's great information from experts, and the way you frame it, bring it all together is fabulous. We appreciate the time to catch up with you and break it down. Thanks, Mike. We hope to talk to you again soon, and enjoy the rest of the preseason, if such a thing is possible.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, Mike Sando from The Athletic, senior NFL writer. Isn't that funny? As Mike was explaining that, Caleb Williams was the consensus number one pick, I was thinking, Brock Purdy, no one even wanted Brock Purdy. Yeah. Who are these people in charge of these drafts, Jay? Do they know anything?
I say it all the time. We consider them experts, but more, they sure miss a whole hell of a lot than they hit on.
They do, don't they?
They definitely do. And I understand there's a huge wide pool that they get to choose from. And then you also have, so many different scouts and assistants and analytics and so many things to choose from. I'm not saying it's easy, but man, I think if you really sat down and broke it down to the point of, and I don't know how we would, quantify it, but as far as maybe saying a person who was drafted and played 5 years in the NFL versus 3 years versus this was just a can't miss guy that absolutely missed. Like, there's got to be some brackets. I truly believe it's like baseball. General managers, assistant general managers, coaches, they would be hitting 250, 275, and be in the Hall of Fame at 300. They miss quite a bit.
They do.
And sometimes it's just in your face common sense. But as I say, they got a lot of numbers to tell them to pick that person.
Yes, they do.
Man.
We'll have to get to Domas, what he had to say about the Kings. We've got that coming up. Also, speaking of quarterbacks, I've got a Brock Purdy question for Jay that I might not ask him if Drapes were here. We'll get to that next, so don't go away. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
One of our chatters, Jess, was in the building. They're having a conversation about media. She said, not media like Dave. I mean real media. Dave is weird media, which is fine.
You're so weird media.
Weird media.
You can listen to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 1140 a.m. YouTube or the Sacktown Sports app.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Your car steering wheel could be a ticking time bomb. At least 24 people have died and many more injured because their airbags fired shrapnel at them upon inflating. Tens of millions of cars have been recalled. If you suffered cuts that required stitches, hearing or vision loss, or broken bones, please contact us today. You could be owed money for medical bills and other damages.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit us at badairbags.com for an office near you. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Abriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Les Schwab Tire Centers and Bare Bones Workwear. Tickets at CITPFest.com.
Carmichael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Yes, I always tell you they are a family-owned operation, been in business since 81, A-plus Better Business Bureau, but it is hot. We are in those Sacramento hot months. I want to focus on them being your second opinion partner. What does that mean? Maybe you've got somebody you're working with or you've worked with in the past in the HVAC world. Guess what? They want to give you a second opinion. How much does it cost? Nothing. You call them up and say, hey, can I get a second opinion on this deal? They come out and they either say, wow, that's a great deal. You should feel better about that. Or they say, we can beat that price. And usually they're going to beat it by a lot. Guess what? You just saved money and it didn't cost you anything to find out. It's a no-lose situation. Go with a trusted company. American Energy, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
High Voltage Live boxing action returns to the venue on September 6th as Uppercut Promotions presents 6 big fights featuring undefeated fighters. Thunder Showdown September 6th at the venue at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Ticket at Ticketmaster. Fight card subject to change.
Yeah.
to Afternoon Home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Hope you had a great weekend. I committed kind of a faux pas, Jay. I don't think it was really my fault, and I think it's understandable. But looking back on it, it looks like I did something pretty dumb. Can you hear my case and decide whether I was just a dummy or whether it was justified, the faux pas I committed?
You good, my brother?
Yeah, so Friday night we were going to have dinner with my daughter, Lonnie, and she's in the Land Park area, so we were going to pick up dinner. She ordered it, or we ordered it, and we were going to take it to her house, and it's a place called Sellen's, which I've never been to.
Yeah, there's a few of them.
Yeah, so, okay. My daughter said it's great.
Pick the one up on Broadway?
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir.
So 915 Broadway. So we're coming the back way. We're coming down 9th, and Chenya's driving. She says, it's around here somewhere. Look over, see a building 915, like on Broadway. To go, well, there you go, right there. There's people lined up. It's obviously a restaurant. So she pulls into the parking lot, and I go up there, and there's a long line of people. And there's someone taking names in the front of this line, letting people into the building. And I'm like, I'm not going to wait in line for pickup. So I make my way up. Excuse me. Like, hi, I'm here for pickup. And the woman says, you're here to pick somebody up? We just opened. I said, no, I'm picking up food. She goes, picking up food? We don't have takeout. And I thought, I don't know what's going on. And somebody in line says, oh, you want around the corner. So I was like, oh, okay, thanks. So Sellen's was actually around the corner.
It was at the beer spot?
I was at the kitchen, which is I guess like a Michelin 5-star restaurant or whatever. And I was trying to get pickup. Takeout.
Yeah, that's all right, man. It happens. What's wrong with that?
I guess, they don't
Players
have
mess
that.
up.
They don't. It doesn't have any signage in front.
No, they don't. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a long line of people, and they were nicely dressed. And I had never been to Sellen's, so I didn't know.
Right.
It's like, hey, I'm not gonna wait in this line. I'm here for. We don't have takeout.
Yeah. The kids. So, are you familiar with the kitchen? I think we've talked about it with Imran and stuff here too.
No, I'm a little more familiar with it now than I was. But yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
It's
an experience.
Yes.
Yeah. They don't have takeout. No, they don't have takeout. Did you like Sellen's?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
It was tremendous.
They have part of their family is oboe. And then they have another Sellen's. There's a Folsom, J Street, somewhere around there, like East Sac, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I play it back in my mind. I guess I should have been a little more aware of.
Nah, man, it happens, Whitey. Come on, you got things to do. You don't have to always pinpoint the address. We got technology these days, man.
Well, but it's 915 is their address, but they were around the corner of the building, and thank goodness somebody in line realized what was going on, because the young lady there, and she's busy, I get it, but she wasn't having it. She's like, you can't pick somebody up here. We just opened.
Just relax, young lady. just assist a
Yeah.
OG like myself to the proper address. That's all.
I'm here for my takeout food. You have my sandwich? All right.
Yeah.
So
don't worry about it.
Yeah. That was you forgive me for that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Did everybody else?
Yeah, nobody cared.
Yeah, there you go.
You're right.
You're
You're right. From the 916. Hard to see the 49ers finishing better than 8-9. 9-8 if everything breaks right for them. Underwhelming roster.
Oof.
They did not put their name on it.
Yeah. I could see it though. I can understand how a naysayer or a Raider fan or someone that, of that ilk, a Cowboy fan would jump in or Packer fan would jump in and say the 49ers look like they're struggling this year and now they move forward. The 49ers have a gluttony of veteran leadership, aging stars, as we like to say, and then they have an infusion of youngsters. And they need both of them to gel and come together as quick as possible. And then at the same time, we just heard it. We talked to Mike Sando, who had his tier quarterback list today that he does every single year. Purdy's at the bottom of tier 2, dropped a few rungs. Not that big of a deal, but a lot of people still don't believe in Brock Purdy. A lot of people don't believe Brock Purdy can take this team to the promised land, even though he was close. And what kills me is then you got somebody, who say, wow, Jay tells you're done without telling us you're done. Imagine not seeing that Burrow's a future Hall of Famer. Brock Purdy and Joe Burrow pretty much did the same damn thing. But people love Joe Burrow.
What I disagree with here from the 916 is 9-8 if everything breaks right. I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, they might be 9-8. But if everything breaks right, I think they'll be better than 9-8.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Breaks right but healthy.
Yeah.
Meaning,
breaks right means like, woo, everything you hope for happened.
Yeah,
for
the
most
youngsters
part.
play well.
Mm-hmm.
You stay healthy. Brock Purdy's upright. Jake Moody's kicking things through the field goal. If that's the case, I think they probably look at like a 12-5, 11-6.
Mm-hmm.
That's breaking right. Not breaking right is going to be 500 ball. I don't see that.
Yeah, the 49ers are
Not
one
with
of
this
these
schedule.
teams on this. All of a sudden, it's a lot more popular, this 2 timeline plan.
Yeah.
We got our older players. We got our younger players hoping to bring it all together.
Yeah, there's a lot of people like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot, as you said, there's a lot of teams that's operating in that form.
Here's my question for you that I might not ask you if Drapes were here, and he should be back tomorrow. Is it possible Brock Purdy is as good as he's going to get? He's been really good. But is he a guy that he's played 3 years? Has he already hit that ceiling? Is he as good as he's ever going to get?
No, I think he's got a little more left in him.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I think he has a little
In
more
what ways would you say?
I think he's got to learn when to extend plays and when to throw balls away. I haven't really seen the experience of, you know what, I'm going to go try to get these 4 or 5 yards, or I'm going to try to go get these 4 or 5 yards when really I need to throw the ball away and live to fight another day. So I think decision-making in critical situations, not so much as decision-making on, regular passes, finding the zone, timing, those type of things. I think he's shown he's an on-time passer, an accurate passer. I think he has shown and exemplified that he can make plays out of no play. I do believe he's got to learn to be a little more critical as far as throwing the ball away. And then the last thing I think he needs to do is, for whatever reason, to a lot of people, he needs to prove still that he can bring this team back from behind. We know the 49ers, and a lot of it's not on him because the 49ers like to play from in front, and then they not so much a step on the gas, but they kind of subtly just ease on into the win compared to go drop 40 on them. So Pat Mahomes will go put 40 on you. Josh Allen may go put 40 on you. Jaden Daniels, as we've seen, he may go put 40 on you. For whatever the reason, the 49ers don't tend to do that more times than not. And so I think he's kind of caught in the Kyle Shanahan mess of, you know what, we're playing out in front. Now we're going to play our game compared to step on your neck.
We had some very interesting comments from Brock Purdy, which we'll get to coming up on the show a little bit later in the show. He was talking to Richard Sherman about all these rankings and how he feels about them. He had a really interesting answer. As far as the tiers in the Athletic go, here are some of the comments on Brock Purdy. A defensive coordinator said, when you play San Fran, you're thinking about McCaffrey, you're thinking about Kittle, you're thinking about Ayuk. Purdy will get it to them, but you're not necessarily thinking about Purdy. You're facing their defense, all these skill guys, Kyle Shanahan. He said he's a facilitator for them. But a head coach said Purdy doesn't get enough credit. The draft is over, okay? The guy's played his ass off. Recognize that. He is not the last pick in the draft anymore. The guy's 1 win away from being a 1 for some people if he won a Super Bowl.
Telling you, that fine of a line, OT, makes the difference. And you talked about it last week. Winning a Super Bowl immortalizes you, no matter who you are, no matter if you're Mark Rippon or not.
Mm-hmm.
People still remember Mark Rippon won a Super Bowl for the Washington Redskins.
No matter what you say, he did it.
Won a Super Bowl. Trent Dilfer is a Super Bowl winner. Brad Johnson is a Super Bowl winner. Nick Foles is a Super Bowl winner. Joe Flacco is a Super Bowl winner and has carried that along the way. It kills me how we look at certain quarterbacks because they were chosen higher and or they're favorites, or I just like to say they're the golden boy of the league. A lot of people would argue Justin Herbert may be getting that type of treatment. I don't necessarily believe like he's on the plane of, and it feels like he's always just outside of being the golden boy in the NFL. Justin Herbert, he's not the Joe Burrows. He's not the Pat Mahomes. He's not the Josh Allen type ilks of players. But he definitely gets a lot of more positive reviews for a lot of things that he has not done. Like, there's a difference between putting up stats and we call it empty calories, don't we?
Yeah.
there's a lot of difference between putting up stats. There's a difference between playing with, as some of the tiers are laid, you need a defense and or a good running game. You have a certain elite type person like Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, who takes over games and wins a game for you, no matter what's going on. And then you have guys who get the blame. Well, he's just got a great team around him. Doesn't really matter. Jalen Hurts is going through it right now, and he won a Super Bowl.
The tier 2 definition, as we said, is quarterback can carry his team sometimes, not as consistently, can handle pure passing situations in doses and or possesses other dimensions that are special enough to elevate him above tier 3. He has a hole or two in his game. Brock Purdy is always going to be a guy who doesn't have the arm strength of top-tier quarterbacks, and he is able to play his way around that, but some people will never forgive him for that.
Sure.
Some people always say he can't throw like the great quarterbacks, therefore he's not a great quarterback. But if he wins enough, obviously it's not going to matter.
Whitey, it's the prototypical QB versus the non-prototypical quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
It's the we felt like you deserve to be a higher draft versus not. And as you said, you will never until Tom Brady did it so long and at a high level for so long that people just had to drop it. But if you think Tom Brady wins one, maybe 2 Super Bowls, of course he's not the greatest, but people will still be like, but he had great defenses around him. Man, he played with absolutely nobody on offense more times than not, minus a tight end.
Mm-hmm.
Now he had the Randy Moss mixed in a year or two. He had an Edelman here and there, but were those guys top flight guys at the time? Yeah. So it's one of those issues where Brock Purdy is always going to be on the receiving end of, he was the last pick of the draft. Like you said, he doesn't have the big arm. He's not the prototypical Josh Allen, quarterback, big guy, height, strong arm, great vision, like all the different attributes that people will tie into. And that's why I always say it. If he wins the Super Bowl, we're already starting to talk at a different narrative. Jalen Hurts has won a Super Bowl. Now we're going to have to start to talk about it in a different narrative, but he's still getting the same treatment.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, with 49ers dropping like flies, a familiar face returns to the 49er roster. We'll look at that when we come back to Sack Down Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
One of our chatters, Jess, was in the building. They're having a conversation about media. She said, not media like Dave. I mean real media. Dave is weird media, which is fine.
You're so weird media.
Weird media.
You can listen to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 1140 a.m. YouTube or the Sacktown Sports app.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence Data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Power, grit, and capability. You'll find it all at Kia of Vacaville today. Tackle the road or no road at all with Kia of Vacaville in the spacious 2025 Kia Telluride. Rugged, aggressive, and built for adventure. Or load up the crew and hit the trail in the versatile 2025 Kia Sorento. Need efficiency for the daily grind? Kia of Vacaville has you covered there too. Swing by next to the Vacaville outlets or check out inventory online at KiaVacaville.com. Limited inventory available, so hurry in now. See dealer for details.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity, introducing the 5-year price guarantee. One internet price, 5 years guaranteed. Well, the accolades keep coming in for A's first baseman Nick Kurtz. Based on batting almost 400 with a slugging percentage of nearly 1,000 in July, he becomes the 10th player to be named Player of the Month and Rookie of the Month in the same calendar month, joining the likes of Buster Posey, Mike Trout, and Aaron Judge.
Welcome to Dugout Radio, the undisputed home of Boomtown Baseball.
The Wi-Fi is booming with Xfinity, baby. Our next caller is
Stacy, how do you stay locked in on every pitch and play?
We stream it all live on Xfinity Internet with low lag, 99.99% network reliability, and speeds faster than a base runner beating the throw to home plate.
I stream on my TV, tablets, even my smart fridge.
Smart fridge?
With all those games, we gotta refuel.
Stream live baseball with Wi-Fi built for the biggest moments. Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary, not guaranteed.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Top of the hour, we'll get to Domas, what he had to say over the weekend. We've been talking a lot about quarterbacks and the 49ers. Mike Sando joined us to talk about his new tiers, quarterback tiers in the Athletic. You know, Jay, we have Emran comes in a lot here from True Sports Cards, and I do the show on Saturdays with Emran. So we talk a lot about what players, you want to look at, the rookie cards, and who's going to be the most valuable and things like that. Jaden Daniels has a chance to be one of the best quarterbacks ever. I believe it. You never know what's going to happen.
I agree.
Yeah, you never know. A lot of things can go wrong. Mike Sando mentioned that NFL executives put him just below tier 1, and that's the first time he's ever been in these rankings. So he's like the top of tier 2. That's where he debuts, because they haven't seen enough to put him in with the very best yet, but they almost did. And he's just so unflappable. And he won with that team last year without a great defense. He's got a chance to be truly one of the all-time great quarterbacks. I really think he has a great chance.
Yeah, he's got all the tools you need.
Yes.
He's electric, too. One thing about it is he'll take off in a minute, but he knows how to operate within the pocket, too. He moves around, does very well. Great arm. Great. It seems like he, makes the right decisions. He was a weapon at Arizona State. So it's not like it wasn't seen early.
Yeah.
You like him, huh?
Yeah. Just every time I see him, it's just he doesn't look like a rookie at all. Of course, he's not anymore. But, last year's like the command he had of the situation in the game.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, he's a ball player, no doubt. I like him. I like him a whole hell of a lot better than some of the other guys that's higher than him.
Yes, definitely. Speaking of the 49ers, as we've been today, the gentleman, I believe it's a gentleman, who said the 49ers are 9-8 if all goes well, came back, which we appreciate, said, I'm a diehard Niners fan since birth. It's called objectivity, fellas. But I'll say this, and thank you for listening. If the Niners go 9-8 this year with this schedule, they should fire everybody, unless there's just, massive injuries. On X, Kurt Austin says, don't forget the Niners have one of the easiest schedules. So they could still have a really solid record with injuries because their opponents are not that good. Yeah, 9-8 would be really a bad season for this team with this schedule.
Yeah. The only thing I'd give them a pass on is injuries. But then even then, you're probably not giving them a pass because I think we're just tired of seeing them being injured. They better go. Listen, Whitey, This team go 9-8. Like you said, it's time to clean house. It's time to revamp. It is definitely time to revamp.
Yeah, and some people are already leaning that way. Jared Williams says the only issue I've seen in the Shanahan era is that if there's a mismatch for the offense, he will not exploit it.
I agree.
He would rather believe in his play call rather than hyper target somebody.
I agree.
Just checking the phone because he's like, TC, where are you? This is when you call.
Who was that again?
That was Jared Williams.
Repeat the first part of it.
Says the only issue I've seen in the Shanahan era is that if there's a mismatch for the offense, he will not exploit it.
Yeah, that's not the only issue. Definitely.
Campio asks, will Shanahan last 7 games this season? Yes, he will, Campy.
Yeah, he'll make it to the end.
Yes, he will.
Unless they start 0-11, they will. There's a few things. I always say pace of play for the 49ers is atrocious. They play the same pace from week 1 to week 17.
Mm-hmm.
They change no pace at all.
Because we do what we do, Jay.
Yeah,
no one can match our scheme. And we're going to take our time doing it.
Yeah.
Scheme arrogance.
Spot on with they don't press a line when they have the upper hand in many different avenues though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people, by the way, weighing in on the kitchen and how long it takes to get reservations. And
yeah, it takes a minute. You got to know somebody over there.
Yeah.
Know somebody to know somebody.
I know the woman with the list.
Did you get her name?
No.
Well, then you don't know her.
I'm sure she'll remember me. We'll get in there. Hey, I guess you got to make reservations way in advance, huh?
Yeah, it takes a minute to get in. And then once they threw the 5-star Michelin on top of it,
right?
And it ain't for the. Let me tell you, it ain't for the weak when it comes to your pocket either.
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna wake your game up.
Really, really tasty food, or is it the service or combination, the atmosphere?
It's an experience.
Okay.
You're paying for the experience. The food is good, no doubt about it, but it ain't nothing that you ain't ever tasted before. It's the experience. It's watching the chef cook and you be intertwined with the chef. People from tables are going up to assist. It's like a you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of nah. It reminds me of a cooking show that had an audience. Like, remember Yan Can Cook?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Martin
so like,
Yan,
I don't remember what his first name is, but love Yan Can Cook. He would slice and dice a few things up, and then he'd be like, you know what? Let's give it to the audience, right? It reminds me of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you also, people from the tables, they go up there and assist, and
really,
yeah. It's I think it's a 5-course meal. I can't remember, but it's an experience. It's something worth trying if you can.
Are the desserts really good? Do you know?
They were all right, man. It wasn't nothing. It was like, oh my God. Like, it wasn't over the top. It was good food.
All right.
You're going to be full.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be satisfied. You'll say, okay, I've done it. Seen it.
I had no idea. The experience, huh?
Yeah, it's an experience.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
So that's if I wanted to impress my wife, I take her there. I'm going to impress her, right? That would be impressive, you think? She'd be impressed?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
for sure.
I'll work on that.
Yeah. When's the y'all just had the big anniversary.
Right.
Yeah, that's where you should have slid to, right there.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You missed the boat.
All right.
Kyle Shanahan.
All right. With the 49ers dropping like flies, a familiar face returns. Did you hear about this, Jay? Jeff Wilson Jr. is coming back. What? Nice depth piece, Jay.
What else we talking about here today?
Yeah. Nice. He can run between the tackles for you.
What else you got, Whitey? Got something else on that piece of paper?
He doesn't do it for you, huh? Former Niner.
He's probably going to play. Garindo's already hurt.
I know.
Patrick Taylor. I mean, who knows if McCaffrey's going to make it through 17 games? He's probably going to play. Hence why hence why he signed.
Frank Gore's sitting there going, man, I could probably play.
He probably could just strap it up one more time for me, coach. I could do it.
Yeah. Domas on what's up with the Kings this summer. We'll hear what he had to say this weekend when we come back. Jade Whitey, Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you're hiring, Have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-838-6767. That's 800-838-6767.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection, 0.5 milligrams.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Get early access to Sleep Number's biggest sale of the year. 25% off the i8 bed, our most popular. Plus free home delivery. Limited time. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
People are coming from all over to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, from Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville, because they've seen for themselves the huge selection and the best prices at SacSuperstore.com. Good luck finding a lower price anywhere else. And if you do, they'll match it. It's as simple as that. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where a handshake still means something. Open until 10 o'clock and centrally located right across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course. And online at SacSuperstore.com. The guaranteed lowest price and the best selection of Dodge, Chrysler, Jeeps, and Rams. SacSuperstore.com.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sacktown Sports 1140.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sacktown Sports 1140. Drapes and Whitey. Whitey and Drapes. You know the pair, the Drive Guys.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I heard some people saying, hey, if Drapes had if he had root canal, he could be back at work. But that's not true. I looked it up. And if you have, you have something, you have to do a lot of speaking, which he does. It's like, yeah, you can look up root canal, cannot go back to work. Yes, most people can. But if you're doing a lot of speaking, as he's doing, it's not great when you've had the root canal. He was last week. He was in here saying, should I go to work? I said, I've never had root canal. Yeah. Shave, if it's me and I'm having root canal, I'm planning on taking that day off.
I'm with you. I've never had one, but I'm 100% with you.
Right.
I'll be right at the house.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not talking to Whitey Gleason today.
That's why you have days off, right? And or when the days when you have to have the root canal.
That is true.
Just worry about him because he just had the wisdom tooth.
I know, man. He's getting a lot of work on them.
Those tusks.
Yeah. The ivories, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tickling the ivories. Thank you, Amadrock. Amadrock breaking down the experience at the kitchen. He says it's the experience. You experience them cooking and you going back in the kitchen to get the behind the scenes.
Yeah. Like you said, you are intertwined in what the chef is doing.
The wine selection was paired to the food, seasonal too. So is it for people that really are really interested in cooking? Because how do they do it?
Yeah, probably. Minus the fact of having a good time, a good time out for the night. But yeah, I guess it would be, for the person that's more intertwined in
I see. Yeah.
The intricacies of what's going on with the kitchen. And, like Amadrock did say, they definitely paired the, this is the lamb pops. And then on top of that, we're going to hit you with a nice red, this.
Cabernet,
perhaps? I'm not a wine guy.
I'm not either. I was hoping that made sense, but I'm not sure it did.
We're close.
Yeah.
Sauvignon Blanc, not red, but yeah,
Amadrock says you better work more weekends to get the pocketbook.
You ain't lying.
Thank you.
Let me tell you, it wake your game up very quick. You walk through the table. It's, as I said, it is an experience. It is an experience when you pull your wallet out as well. But listen, if you're blessed to do it, don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. If you have the opportunity to do it and it is something that you find value in, or, you find entertainment, as we talked about, your endorphins get going,
right?
Then please visit and have a good time.
We were just trying to pick up at Sellen's at about 5. So that's when I thought I had the restaurants confused. My point is they had just opened at the kitchen. They had a long line, Jay.
Oh, yeah.
A long line just as they were opening.
Well, it's not you all come at one time.
Yeah.
So
it's almost like for the show. You're here
correct.
For the 5:15 show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's not, you come in, you have an appointment, no. We all come at one time. We're all a group. We're group A, and we are experiencing the delicatessens, the delicacies of a few special chefs in our area of Sacramento.
Yeah, and for anyone who may have missed it, why are you talking about that? I went there to the kitchen on Friday. I didn't know it was the kitchen. I went there to pick up my order from Sellen's, and they don't have takeout.
No, they don't mix.
Yeah,
they're not together. Let me tell you that.
I see.
Though I like Sellen's because you can go in there, and I'm more of an a la carte guy when I go to eat anyway, because I'm like the type of person I want to try a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So I like Sellen's because you can jump in there.
Great. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You can jump. I love that mac and cheese they got pumping.
Now you tell me.
Yeah. Well, what'd you get?
I just got I'll say
a
tuna
pizza.
melt. Tuna melt with fries, and my wife and my daughter got pizza. Delicious pizza.
Yeah, I haven't had a tuna melt, and I'm talking about in eons.
Yeah, there's a good tuna melt.
Really?
French.
Is that a go-to for you, the norm? Or are you just like, I'm feeling tuna melt?
It's just what
today.
jumped out at me when I was looking
problem,
at the menu.
No problem. Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna apologize.
No, you shouldn't. It's your food. Who give a damn what anybody else say?
I bet they don't have a tuna melt at the kitchen. My guess is they do not.
Tartar. There might be tuna melt tartar.
According to sources, the Kings are going to open the 25-26 season on Wednesday, October 22nd in Phoenix against the Suns. That's just, what is today, August 11th? I mean, we're just talking a little more than 2 months. So you can almost smell it now. The NBA season is almost upon us. The Kings home opener, Golden One Center versus the Utah Jazz, Friday, October 24th, 2 nights after they open the season. And then on the 26th, the Sunday, they will be playing the Lakers. I got to check and see who the 49ers play on the 26th.
Oh,
that could be a huge sports day in Northern California, and of course here at Sacktown Sports. So those are the 3 openers. And the NBA, and we said this, last week or the week before, this is the week they typically announce the schedule. And we found out, of course, the opening night telecast and the Christmas Day telecast last week. And so this week they're stretching it out. Thursday is the official release day, but we're already finding out a lot about the dates. I know on Good Morning America and on the Today Show tomorrow, they're supposed to be announcing something on the schedule. So they're going to take their sweet time with it.
Yeah, good for them. Stretch it out just like the NFL. October 26th.
Yeah.
It's the revenge game against D'Amico Ryans. I don't know if it's a revenge game, but they're at H-Town.
Okay.
10 o'clock jump off. So you'll be able to get a little early breakfast brunch action.
Right.
For the 49ers that take on the Houston Texans in Houston at 10 a.m. and then you got the Kings later on that night against.
So also we don't have to worry at the station here about, are they both on the same time? They are not.
No.
So that's a big broadcast day on Sacktown Sports coming up October 26th. Getting y'all ready for Halloween.
Kitchen style.
Yeah. Domantas Sabonis was in Rockland. He had his annual camp there, and he talked to members of the media. I know Sean Cunningham was there. I know that Matt George was there. There were others there. I wasn't able to see who they were. I don't mean any disrespect to them. But Domantas Sabonis talked about this summer and upcoming training camp with the Kings. Here's what he had to say.
A lot's probably still going to change. So, we're just going to wait and see till training camp.
Do you feel like you can be an active voice in voicing what you feel could be potentially the best for the team going forward?
Yeah, of course. They listen to us. They want to hear what we think. I think Scott's done a great job so far, and he's trying to turn things around, just like everyone else. Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Yeah. So that was interesting. He says there's been a lot of change, and there's probably going to be more. And I think some people are making too much of that, Jay. We'll see. We know that they still could add Russell Westbrook. There's a number of things that could happen. The trade with the Warriors is probably not going to happen. I think Domas is just being Domas there, and he's just talking.
Yeah.
I don't think he's like tipping his hand like, ooh, we got big changes coming.
Yeah, lip service, man. I mean, you're at a camp, and there's questions, there's media there, so you're gonna have to answer a couple of conversations, but there's really nothing in that. He's teetering the line. He's giving you all general reaction, general answers.
I believe some people, some people have suggested, maybe he was taking a shot there at the previous regime because Domas said,
"Who said that?"
Well,
who said? Why? Stop. I'm on my.
I don't know who
said that.
I don't know who said it, but I believe I saw allusions to that on social media. That
stay off them people.
Was he taking a shot at the past regime?
Stay off them people page.
He was not.
Yeah,
he was not.
Stay off them people.
Yeah, he was saying, no, these guys. It is interesting. He said they listen to us. So. I think he feels like, wow, they've heard what I had to say. But I don't think, if you've ever talked to Domas or just heard him talk, or been in a room when he's talking, he's not just in the middle of his camp going to start taking shots at people.
No.
After a tough loss, when someone says, hey, Malik played well, or after even a win, someone says, Malik started, that was good. He might say, it's about time. But which was kind of maybe he was voicing his frustration. Maybe, but this is not that. This is not a thing. It is not a thing, Jay.
Yeah, I'm not adding no more to it. I'm not even giving that the time of the day. Let's move on.
Yeah. Well, I do think people have thrown it around because people, again, in that vacuum, they're looking for something. Ooh, nothing there. Nothing there. Now we'll hear what Domas had to say about the fact that with Dennis Schroeder, the Kings have that point guard.
It was good. We didn't have one, so right now we have a starting caliber point guard. Dennis is very talented. He's playing in the Eurobasket this summer, so we'll see him later. He'll come in shape and ready to go.
So, again, I think some people said, we didn't have a point guard. Is he taking a shot at the previous regime? No, he's not.
Who was saying that, White? People call folks out by name. It's time some people starting to get called out.
I don't need to do that, and I don't actually know. All right, but I will tell you this.
You can pass it to me. I'll say it.
If there's a takeaway from this, my takeaway is that Domas, I'm a little surprised at it. I'm convinced that he's genuinely somewhat excited about the upcoming season and the new direction.
Why? I would hope so.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, really, he's not. It's like we heard some players earlier in the offseason. I don't want to mention names because I'm not criticizing them, but as they talked about it, they're like, you got to be professional. I mean, they're kind of dazed after what happened last year. We all were, but Domas doesn't sound like he's. We gotta do what we gotta do, and hopefully things will go in the right direction. To me, he sounds like he's like, yeah, I like this, and it surprises me a little.
I don't know, White. I'm probably on my Kyle Draper. I really don't see anything from any of that. Mm-hmm. I see the fact of the matter of he's out of camp. People, media, Sean Cunningham, Matt George, they're doing their job. They're asking questions, and in reality, he's just giving it to you the way he feels at the moment. There's definitely been some time to, digest what has happened last season. Mm-hmm. I think we're closer to the new year versus how it ended last year. So maybe he's he's got a breath of fresh air, maybe time away. He talks about Tiger, his son. He talks about his family, throughout the 4 or 5 minute.
He's definitely in a good
interview.
mood. Will you give me that?
Absolutely. Of course. Yeah. But beside looking at on one side of the fence, I don't know. I'm not seeing it. I'm not feeling it. I'm not digesting that from his conversation. I think Domas is kind of being Domas, and I think you make a great point in the form of Domas is when you listen to Domas after games, press conference, and or even just in the locker room, he's always kind of a half glass full guy anyway. He's always kind of hard on himself and like, you know what? I got to do better. I have to do this, and we need to do this, and we need to do that. We need to be better. He's not the person that really points fingers at anybody. And I'm not saying any of the other players are, but we know players throughout athletics and the NBA, they have a propensity of saying, well, I did my job and we just didn't get it done. Mm-hmm. To me, Domas is a stand-up guy. He's definitely one of those guys that's a half glass full, wearing the purple shades. He's always talking about what he needs to do better or what we need to do better as a team. He's very positive. Very rarely do you hear him negative. I think that's the same tone, the same connotation. I mean, if anything, I'll take from the fact where he's like, look, we felt we didn't have a point guard last year, and we do now. Yeah. And that's something to look forward to. Yeah. The rest of that, I think it just lip service, man. Mm-hmm. I truly do. Mm-hmm. Like the point guard part of it, I'll ride with you in the boat.
Yeah. Plenty of room.
Yeah.
Bringing chips.
What kind, man? What she go to?
Not Pringles.
Not Pringles, okay.
But probably Sun Chips.
Ooh, the garden or the cheddar, or where are you going?
Cheddar, yeah.
Cheddar. Ooh, I like.
By the way, speaking of food, and we're back to Domas and everything.
Sure.
A couple of comments here on the text line about the kitchen from the 530. If you go to the kitchen and halfway through the dinner you want a tuna melt, Chef Kelly will make you one. That's from James. Thank you, James.
That's dope.
Yeah. And then
does James know that for sure? Has he done that before? James, have you asked for something in between Chef Kelly making something? You're like, yeah, you know what? I want a sloppy Joe.
There's something about the way that's written. I believe it.
He's got a little inside information.
It's like, all right, James, thank you.
I'm with you.
From someone else in the 530. My dad took a bunch of his close friends. Our table for the bill was $11,000.
Damn.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of his. Maybe your dad has a lot of close friends. But I see what we're talking about there, where Amadrock says you might want to work a little extra on the weekends to pad your wallet. I have no idea what the order was, but I get it. Thank you. $11,000. Okay. Well, it should be a good experience. It's a Drive Guys here. Kyle Draper out today. He should be back with us tomorrow. We're just talking about, we've been talking about the 49ers for much of the show. We're talking about Domantas Sabonis, the things he had to say this weekend at his camp in Rockland. And some people are maybe making too much of the things that he had to say. Jay is one of those people who thinks there's nothing to see here. I do think it's significant, the tone, Domas's tone, the fact that he sounds so positive about anything. To me, and maybe I'm just projecting, maybe this is something I want to see. To me, he sounds like he is fully on board with things. And I do think it's interesting that he talked about the point guard, the importance of having a point guard. It's also possible, Jay, and I don't know if this is reflected in what he said, but it's certainly possible that this is going to be, at least this year, Domas's team.
Hey, you got that from there?
I started thinking about it more. Okay. Just the way he said, they listened to us and we got a point guard we didn't have before. I'm telling you, he's excited about this.
Okay.
He's more excited about this year than I am. I'll tell you that. Good for him. He should know better than me.
Now that I can dig. Now that I'm with you. I truly, when you really take a step back and you look at Domas and him talking about, point guard, having a point guard, we didn't feel like we had one. They felt like we didn't have a point guard. That lets me know that the whole organization was on board of like, you know what, fellas, we're deficient in this area, and we need to make sure that we're not.
Yes.
That part, like I said, I can dive into it. The other last part about it is listen to it, and we could play a little more, is I do think he's in a greater headspace. It sounds like the conversations behind closed doors between the team, the coaches, the front office, they're in a better headspace, and they've shaken off what has happened last year.
I agree.
That's what I feel, because I think if it was still to carry on, we would have heard what we heard from Debo. Man, this was the wildest year I've ever had in my 17-year career.
There was nothing in what he said along the lines of Domas. It is like, well, we'll see. We still want to do this. He was like, yeah, this is great.
Yeah. But I ask you, you're at a camp, your son's there, bunch of children are there, media's in your face, you're feeling good, you're looking good, the pockets are lined up. What negative would he say? Like, what have you seen in the form of, like, where would a player say, you know what, man, that's atrocious and we're not feeling good and man, we just got to do better? Like, where would you see that at?
My guess is that if there were any frustration over the direction since Scott Perry took over, that we would be able to hear it in some way, shape, or form. And I don't hear any hint of it. Maybe you're right. Maybe no, he's just being positive. But, a lot of times a player will give be a little reserved about, we still have to see if we can do this. But no, he's like, they listen to me. Everything's great. And maybe that's just Domas being Domas. I'm telling you, I hear that. He is on board, Jay.
Well, he's got to be.
He doesn't. That's the whole thing about Domas. He doesn't have to be, and we're all hoping he is on board, so he sticks around. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. James, by the way, says, used to work there. He says, yes, I worked there. So he knows what he's talking about.
Sources say.
Chef Kelly and the tuna melt.
It's interesting because the kitchen has sparked up some comments here. At the kitchen, they will continue to cook until you leave or they run out of food.
They will also,
I don't remember that, but
they will allow you to plate food, do dishes, whatever job you want to do. They will supervise, but will allow it. I don't want to do. If I'm paying $11,000, I got to do the dishes.
Well, remember. I
guess it's if I want to.
Yes, it's the experience. You hit the nail on the head, which is if you're really into the intricacies of cooking and being in the kitchen and being a sous chef and being being a part of a 5-star staff, then I think it's fantastic. It is a fantastic experience for you if that is your passion, if that is something you love. It's almost like this. Whitey, your passion, a lot of it is in music and a lot of it is in sports and a lot of it is in family, right? If you combine 2 or 3 of those things together, which could be what? A family outing, you and your daughter go to games quite a bit. And let's just say, you got it. And behind that, you had a great concert from Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
It would be heaven almost for you, right?
Are you saying, Jay, that the kitchen is almost like culinary fantasy camp?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of.
See, I don't know that I would want to do that, but I get it.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Yeah. I understand.
Maybe not for Dub G, but somebody who may. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It definitely is fantasy camp for it. But remove that. It also is an experience too. So even if you're not the fantasy camper, you still can go and be like, all right, if you love food, try it. If you love a good night out in the town, try it. If you're blessed to afford it, try it. It's something that you could do once. Have you ever heard of dining in the dark?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so they have dining in the dark opportunities and experiences.
Yeah.
I've never done it.
That's not the dinner in the movie, is it?
No, hell no. That's literally you go into a restaurant and they turn out the lights and they serve you in the dark.
Oh.
And it's supposed to,
heighten your senses.
Yeah,
probably.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's like an Aaron Rodgers thing in his
the
Hobbit hole.
Yeah. For whatever reason, it is, it heightens your palate.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I've always felt that if you're at the seaside, like right on the water, Monterey or somewhere, the food tastes better because being by the ocean.
Oh, it's fresh. Yeah, especially that seafood. Yeah.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. I sent up the Shanahan bat signal for TC, and he has responded. It's TC. It's time for check-in.
Mike check.
TC. What's up, TC?
Hey, what's up, bro? Hey, look, check it out. Mic check. I was telling Jay before I jumped on. Not too much on Shanahan, bro. It's just
all right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know how I feel about that dude, bro. And if they get it done, they get it done. If they don't, then I mean, you know, I've been talking about that.
Okay.
As far as the King, hey, wait, hold on, Jay. I feel like it's good. Y'all got me better?
Yeah. Sounds
good. Okay, so look, check it out. Domas, I was telling him like this. I say, Domas, the way he was talking, Whitey, I told Jay, I said, he got his butt in line, right? Scott Perry talked to everybody around the organization, right, and said, no, I don't want to hear clarity. I don't want to hear none of that. It's a yes or no, Domas. Do you want to be here moving forward? Do you want to be a part of this? And I believe that dude's answer was yes. That's why he talked the way he talked, not only being around kids, but he talked the way he talked, bro, of a person that got their butt in line. You know when somebody got to get their butt in line and you have a talk or you check them or something, and then when you see that person the next time, they just talking straightforward, no BS. Like, hey, look, man, I'm straight. We good. Look, man, let's go. That's how he talking, bro. That's what I took from that. That's all I got.
I'm with you, TC. He's right, Jay. There's something going on there, and it's something good. If you're a Kings fan, it's something good. I'm telling you that. Domas is on board, both feet, at a time when Kings fans have been concerned. And I'm telling you what, I made this prediction before. When the season starts and the preseason previews come out, there will be, I would guess, at least a handful of national writers who say, one of the keys to this year will see whether the Kings can satisfy Domantas Sabonis or if he will decide at the deadline to ask out. If they hear that interview, they know Domas is staying. He's on board. He knows he's going to be one of the foundational pieces going forward. And that's good news for the Kings and Kings fans.
Well, it is, but I would say partially it's Kings fans' fault for believing half the stuff they read and continue to divulge in.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of what's going on is just hearsay, she say.
Mm-hmm.
It's really not like Whitey.
Yeah.
To the insider, to the beat writer, to the beat reporter, to the NBA reporter this summer, and correct me if I'm wrong, I didn't hear one person say Domas was even close to being on the move.
No, but there were, I'll look it up. There were a couple people that alluded to the possibility. It was alluded to here or there by people that don't really know what's going on.
And thank you. That's where I was going.
Yeah.
As I said, I find myself sounding like Kyle Draper more and more about the Kings situation.
Yes. Do you recall, sir, earlier in the offseason, we talked to Drape's buddy from Toronto, maybe it's your buddy. Because there was all this stuff going on about Domantas Sabonis going to the Raptors. Yeah. And the gentleman who covers them, I apologize, I forgot his name. He said, I've been around the Raptors for years. I haven't heard them mention Domantas Sabonis once.
Ever.
Yeah. And I think that we actually got a little run with that.
Doug Smith.
Yeah, Doug Smith. Doug Smith said, there is nothing to that.
No. I think if you just read the tea leaves and take a step back and take a deep breath, which is what it sounds like the Kings have and sounds like Domantas has done. That's what I said. I'll give him that. Some of this stuff, man, it's just clickbait. It truly is. Mm-hmm. A lot of what's going on is people trying to get them numbers up.
Yep.
There ain't no way in hell Domantas Sabonis was on the move this summer. We ain't hear that from nobody that has any skin in the game.
Right.
With that being said, if you listen to, and we can go back, I can pull it. If you go back and listen to Domantas Sabonis's end of the season exit interview versus today, yes, there is resonation there of enjoyment, happiness, looking forward to next year. And that's why I say some of it is common sense, even though it's not that common. We are closer to a new beginning than we are to what has happened. You're not forgetting history, but there is renewed vigor in the fact of, okay, that's done. We're moving on. It's time. And this is my point. If we were to hear Domas still be living in the past, still be talking about, well, you know, man, it was just tough and difficult, then that's a story. That is what is considered, you know what? Now I'm reading into that. But the fact that he's out here happy-go-lucky, that he's at his camp in front of kids and saying, you know what? Yeah, I feel great.
Mm-hmm.
It's spectacular. Matter of fact, I just came back from the house. I had 2 brand new bottles of wine that I've been sampling, and I'm gonna send to Safeway. Like whatever he could have possibly said, there's nothing to it.
TC's right.
Oh,
he's been put straight. By the way, if you're Domantas Sabonis, you could go to the kitchen. Like you could make that like a every Friday thing if you want.
You ain't lying.
If you want it,
well,
and not even feel it.
Why do you could do it? You could do it. You're
that takeout. I might be able to.
You're shopping in the same neighborhood, champ. You're right next door. See, what happened was she just mistook the fact that you wanted takeout.
Yeah.
And the fact that, you know what, you were really coming to pick up out the back door. Chef Kelly, as someone said, James, who used to work there.
Yeah.
Chef Kelly probably got love for you. He knows who you are, man. Legendary status out here, brother.
I was also a little underdressed.
Well, guess what? When you're the sous chef, you come in how you want because you're going to have the fine aprons, the fine thread, 500 Egyptian count.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, my baseball glove barbecue apron on. Yeah. Meanwhile, on the.
Do you have one of those?
No, not yet. Not yet. The latest on the you-know-who front. Kuminga. Anything going on? No. But we'll look at why not next on Sacktown Sports.
The Allen Styles Show.
Are the Kings the one team in the league that could actually benefit from one of their players having a podcast? Malik, it would probably be Malik, even though he's in all these dang trade rumors. Wouldn't it be nice if you heard stories about the Kings?
You can listen to the Allen Styles Show Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on 1140 a.m., YouTube, and the Sacktown Sports app.
You still have 40 million plus vehicles globally that are driving around with a potential ticking time bomb, a grenade in either their steering wheel or their dashboard. When we look to what injuries may have transpired from a defective airbag, we generally see loss of vision in an eye, or we see facial lacerations. We also see hearing loss. Unfortunately, we started seeing death after death after death. When that passenger airbag exploded, it basically degloved his entire face. He lost his nose, he lost his right eye. The type of catastrophic injuries that one is more accustomed to seeing in a Hollywood movie, not something from a device in an automobile that's supposed to protect you. Morgan & Morgan has a national reach in terms of handling and prosecuting cases, notwithstanding the team of lawyers that we have collected that focus only on product liability day in and day out.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit us at badairbags.com for an office near you. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Shaking body dry on a coastline.
Zach Bryan, live in concert. This Friday night, Golden Gate Park.
Baptize me in a bottle of beer
With Kings of Leon, Turnpike Troubadours, and Oveen Hoffman. Zach Bryan. Tickets are on sale now at GoldenGateParkConcerts.com. Brought to you by your friends at Another Planet Entertainment.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Juice box. I'm a mom.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check. Oh, hot sauce. Take it.
Really? I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins, a balloon. Wait one sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line, $100 per month on Experience Beyond. Finance agreement $829.99 and qualifying order. For well qualified, plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, inviting you to come join them every Wednesday for their midweek madness drawing, giving away $2,000 in total cash starting at 6 p.m. It's a safe and friendly friendly environment, plenty of well-lit parking available, and it's conveniently located right there in downtown Sacramento. And remember, best food, best service, best games, 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
We'll get back to our Kings conversation in just a moment. There was an update today from Anthony Slater on you-know-who. Name rhymes with Muminga. Not much there,
Brady
but there is.
Papinga.
Yeah, we do need to just kind of see where it is and why it's there. Before we get to that, some significant news from the 49ers today with Kyle Shanahan offering, as ESPN says, the closest thing to a return date. The closest thing to a return date for Brandon Ayuk for the first time today. And Shanahan, he did make sure he couched it, but he talked about also Malik Mustafa and quarterback Curtis Rourke. They're dealing with ACL injuries. And here's what Kyle Shanahan said. I kind of view all those guys around the same time, whether it's Mustafa, whether it's Rourke, or whether it's Brandon. They're all at different stages, but where they're at, I always see them around week 6, which means that could be week 10. It means it could be week 5. But that's the area where I start thinking about it, which is a long way away. I know it's not week 1 or anything like that, so it's something I'm not really thinking about too much, end quote. So we can say, yeah, I'm not thinking about it. But I don't think he just decided, I don't know, week 6. To me, the fact that he says week 6 suggests it might be even a week earlier than that, Jay. You know, I think just because he knows what he's doing.
You're sifting through it, huh?
Yeah. Like if you think he's week 10, the last thing you're going to say is week 6, because then you just make everyone anxious and upset when you get to that point. So Ayuk remaining on the physically unable to perform list because of that knee injury he suffered against the Chiefs in week 7. I don't know whether this is good news, bad news. You know, some people, as you pointed out, Jay, some people have been thinking, hey, he could be ready for week 1. So for them, maybe this is disappointing. But I don't know. I think it's encouraging. Week 6 is doable. You get him back week 6. I think you can make it through, especially with your, thank you, Kyle Draper's not here, with your cupcake schedule. You can make it through 6 weeks without.
It just depends on who else is upright. You touched on the beginning of the show. There's a lot of wide receivers who aren't upright.
Yeah. Today, Jordan Watkins, who did some nice things in the preseason opener, turns out that he sustained a high ankle sprain. So he's out about a month on top of everything else going on with the 49ers and their wide receivers. And it was already, I think, even if healthy, you still had some concerns about the position.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You get calf by Jennings. You've listed them. Tricky Ricky P has got a little issue, even though he's bounced back. I'm not exactly who start right now. I don't think Jennings' calf is that big of an issue. They're probably just being cautious because it's preseason.
He didn't practice today.
Yeah, but game
Cowling,
1,
hamstring, and Watkins, they didn't practice today.
Game 1, who starts for you? Jennings on one side, Tricky Ricky P on the other, and who's in that slot? Is it DeMarcus Robinson?
Are we assuming DeMarcus Robinson is suspended? He's still awaiting word.
Yeah, he's still waiting. Yeah. Is it DeMarcus Robinson just because of he's a veteran? He's done it before?
Yeah.
Okay. Damn.
I mean, I'm sure the 49ers are figuring there's a really good chance he won't be available.
They should know
right now.
I think so, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's Robbie Chosen.
George Kittle's going to catch about 19 passes.
He's going to have to.
Or at least he's going to be targeted.
19 attempts.
Yeah.
Boy, that defense show better come to play, and that running game better be spectacular for the first couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Until you can bring them up to speed. Unless
Christian McCaffrey's going to catch a lot of passes.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Unless Tricky Ricky P has got something up his sleeve and we're just waiting to see it.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate what you said about Juwan Jennings, because we're not sure, because he's made it clear he wants a new contract. Adam Schefter reported in mid-July Jennings would like a lucrative extension, but this is the same calf he struggled with in last year's training camp, and during OTAs in late spring. So the 49ers are saying, yeah, we keep it in house, but it's he's hurt and we're nursing it. How much of that could be related to his contract? We don't know, Jay. I'm going to take them at the word and say two separate things, but it could have something to do. His calf might be feeling a lot better if they gave him an extension.
It's the Manny Ramirez. Every couple of weeks, Manny, the back, a little tight. Just never know. Hamstrings, kind of one of them things. Calves, another. You never know. You absolutely never know, Whitey. He may, as you said, you will take it for face value. But I would also, if you're reading into the Domantas Sabonis conversation at the camp, then I'll read into this one. I'll play the opposite here for you a little bit.
No, yeah. Domas he practically told us. This answers your question. For now, Ricky Pearsall is the only whiteout projected in the team's top 6 who is healthy enough to practice and expected to be available for week 1. Beyond Pearsall and Demarcus Robinson, the 49ers ran today's practice with Isaiah Hodgins, Robbie Chosen, Tariq Owens, Russell Gage Jr., and Junior Bergen as the only other receiver options.
Boy, that is thin mint.
We're going to find out how good Brock Purdy is, aren't we?
We are. And, George Kittle and the offensive line. And your guy, Patrick Taylor. There's definitely going to be some unsung heroes for the 49ers when it comes to the offensive side until they can get on, the 2 feet, so to say. They got to get a little healthier.
Yeah. According to this piece, that begs the question whether the Niners will need to go to free agency to find another veteran option or 2.
Maybe.
And I don't even know what's out there at this point.
We'll find out once all, cuts come around.
Yeah.
So the 49ers definitely should be in the market for a wide receiver. But right now, you're trying to get through the first couple of preseason games. And we know when cut day comes around, there'll be a player or two where it's like, oh, okay, that's decent. He's a solid veteran, something where someone might not want to pay that salary, or they found a youngster who they believe can replace his numbers. There'll be 1 or 2 people out there. The 49ers definitely should be in the mix for that.
Yes. The tricky part is that, Kyle Shanahan looks for certain things from his receivers.
Very true.
We as fans, or I'll speak for myself, look and go, that guy is a good receiver. He had this many catches. But for Kyle, it's like, yeah, but does he block? If he doesn't block, I'm not interested. Right?
Yeah.
The mantra of 49er receivers, no block, no rock.
Truth. You have to have a little moxie to play for Kyle Shanahan on the outside, and you definitely need to fit his scheme. I've always said there's been plenty of wide receivers that are great on other teams that would look fantastic to me in the 49er uniform, but they don't fit the Kyle Shanahan scheme, the makeup. And so, as you talked about, you got to block to get the rock.
Shanahan said there are possibilities later that are guaranteed, but there's lots of things that are tied to that. Who's available, how much they're available for, the situation our team is in salary cap wise, and what we can do. But yeah, we're looking into everything. We'll always try to do the best, but try not to just panic and do something to survive a tough situation at the expense of what would really hurt you later on this year and definitely next year. So they're thinking about it. They're looking at it.
Well, they have to. I mean, in a perfect world, Brandon Ayuk, Jawan Jennings, and Tricky Ricky P is your starting 3. That's perfect world. Behind that, in a perfect world, you would have Cowings, you would have Watkins, and maybe Robinson, because he's a veteran, and they picked him up early on in the offseason.
Yeah, and they knew when they picked him up that there was a good chance he wouldn't be available to start the
year. May not, right. So beyond that, Junior Bergen looks like he's a returner. He has a good couple of returns this past weekend. Robbie Chosen has been on the 49ers before. He's circling back around. Right now I was at the tail end of the depth chart last time I looked at it yesterday. And so I don't necessarily know if that's healthy, Whitey. You heard me? That's as someone earlier in the show said, at the top end, if everything goes right, everything falls their way. Is that Brandon, and you know where I feel about Brandon Ayuk, but I know he's proven he can do it. He can get it done. But Brandon Ayuk, Jennings, and Tricky Ricky P are your starting wide receivers. How do you see that working out with Brock Purdy, CMC, Kittle? Like, where do you see that, even if that's the perfect storm?
I like it fine as long as Ayuk is anywhere near what Ayuk was before he got hurt.
Got you. Okay. With Cowing, with Watkins, with DeMarcus Robinson coming off the pine for you.
Yep.
Okay.
You got someone you can work with there.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Your quarterback has a rag arm anyway, Jay. You don't have to.
That's what I've been told. I've been told that. I've definitely been told that.
Don't worry about it deep, Fred.
Right.
You can't get the ball downfield. We're kidding. Yeah. We'll come back with a look at what's going on with Kuminga. May have one more 49er wide receiver note as well when we come back. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
Stay up to date on Sacramento sports. Join the Sacktown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit SacktownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Fidium Fiber.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center, and another warm evening tonight, although the Delta breeze is going to be picking up a bit with temperatures that should drop off into the lower 60s by Tuesday morning, and then Tuesday afternoon, daytime highs ranging in the mid-90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
Oh, it's been a wonderful summer for us because this is our first summer with our new HVAC unit from Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, and we're staying cool. And if you're having any issues here during the hot weather, you might want to look at getting a new HVAC. But there are so many HVAC companies out there. How to choose? I've told you the story. A friend recommended we check out Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, leesair.com. Glad we did. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating was ready to come out the day that we called in the winter when our heater went down. They treated us with respect from the person who answered the phone to the guys who installed our new HVAC unit. So why choose Lee's? That's what it comes down to. They offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee. They get 4.8 stars on Google. A lot of friends recommend them. They've won awards for their service. They've spent more than 40 years serving the Valley's HVAC, heating, and plumbing needs. And you can trust Lee's with installation and repair of your AC, furnace, and water heater, plus residential, commercial plumbing repair, commercial HVAC services too. You can find out more at leesair.com. Check out their mission statement, all about serving customers and community, and check on their $99 HVAC tune-up service. Let Lee's take care of you the way they took care of me, treating us like family, and they set us up with an HVAC system that has improved our quality of life and the air that we breathe. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, license number 635355.
It's about time they
fixed that pothole,
invented better windshield wipers,
made an internet that just works. Fidium Fiber Internet, starting at only $30 a month. It feels like Fidium. Offer available to residential customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See Fidium.com for details.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
Big year. I'm starting middle school.
Welcome to the jungle, Missy.
Best part? My parents promised me a new laptop.
Perfect for homework, essays, and drudgery.
So we went to Staples. They had all the latest tech, and laptops were up to 40% off.
Woo! Another back-to-school budget saved by Staples Easy Button.
Mom high-fived the cashier. So embarrassing.
Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app. In Z23, select models only.
Alan Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by DTLA Law Group. Max Muncy, out with that right hand fracture, has started to perform baseball activities, but still nothing as of early August. His expected return is late August. Jacob Wilson, out with that left forearm fracture, has begun playing catch and running. The hope is for him to return sometime in September. That was your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by DTLA Law Group. Hey, I'm Alan Stiles. Injured at work? Call downtown. DTLA Law Group, California's leading injury law firm. With over 40 lawyers throughout California, they have won over $500 million in settlements. DTLA Law Group will get you compensation for your work injury. You don't pay unless they win. That's right. You pay $0 up front. Call downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222. Visit them at calldowntown.com. Text charges may apply.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash,
Vincent Mason, and Averyana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Lesh Schwab Tire Centers and Bare Bones Workwear. Tickets at CITPFest.com.
The Tribe Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Just talk about the 49ers, all the injury issues they're dealing with now. Wide receiver, Hal Shanahan said today that Brandon Ayuk might be back week 6. Said it could be sooner, could be later. He also said, yeah, we're looking at free agents. Jay, we haven't talked about this, but last week the 49ers came to an agreement with Equanimous St. Brown. It says here 6 days ago, 49ers Equanimous St. Brown headed back to San Francisco. And then
they cut him, though.
11 days ago, Equanimous St. Brown cut by San Francisco.
They cut him.
So, yeah. So
He's long gone. And then they picked up Robbie Chosen.
Yeah. Scouring the free agent market.
Fantasy football style. That's where they're at right now.
Mm-hmm.
Truly, truly, truly a weakness on paper for the 49ers.
What's Shaney's old guy, Dante Pettis, doing these days?
I have no clue. Pretty sure it's on somebody's squad somewhere.
Yeah. Last I remember he was with the Giants, but that was a while ago.
Maybe last year didn't he have like a game or two he erupted?
I think he might have. I was one of those guys like every year. Oh, this is his year. He's going to bust out. He's too good of a receiver not to. And it didn't quite happen. So the 49ers do have a lot of time between now and the start of the season. So maybe between Juwan Jennings, calf, and the high ankle sprain that Watkins sustained and DeMarcus Robinson's situation, maybe some of that stuff works itself out, Jay. That might be your best bet. Hope is not a strategy,
right?
But right now the 49ers are relying on a lot of hope to get the receiving core ready for the start of the season.
100% Dante Pettis, a member of the New Orleans Saints.
Oh, good for him.
You're right. And someone, I could have swore I just saw it. Someone from the 916, 49ers have arguably the worst wide receiver crew in the entire league. So, boy, are we putting a lot of stock in strength of schedule or lack thereof for any optimism around this team.
Wait now. Look, I know we're just talking about how there are some issues there, but if Ayuk is anything close to Ayuk, and we'll see, that's not the worst receiving core in the league. Just Juwan Jennings and Brandon Ayuk alone, Jay. That's not the worst. I'm not saying, that's Super Bowl caliber best in the league, but it's not the worst in the league.
Well, no. But,
thank you.
But there is something to be said because we got to keep it a thou. There is something to be said of this wide receiver room and core. We don't really know what most of them are. And even the ones that we are sure of, Juwan Jennings, we're asking him at the moment to be something he has not. And so in true reality, to the 916's point, and someone else behind there, Rob M says, I think Ayuk is not a true number one. He's been a number one due to injuries, and his production is good about 30% of the time.
He must listen to you a lot because you've been saying that for a long time.
I have. Ayuk is a fantastic number two. We're going to find out if he can be a number one. We would have had an opportunity to see it last year, I thought, but injury, of course, took him out the game. There are more. How about this? Can we agree to this? As much as I don't believe they're the worst wide receiving core in the league, I can also say they may have the most questions heading into the season when it comes to wide receiving core.
Yeah, and again, I'm not saying their wide receivers are great or anything. I'm just saying worst in the league. I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure we could find a handful of teams where it's like, who? Mm-hmm. What?
Mm-hmm.
There's some poultry teams out there.
Yeah, but to that texter's point also, even with Ayuk, there's a lot of variance. Well, he's been really good before. Is he good now? Is he that good? I don't know. Ricky Pearsall, very promising. Is he anywhere near
ready now?
He can be?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Juwan Jennings was excellent last year.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, he did his thing. We are asking him to be the number one right now. And when I say we, it's 49er fans. It's the team. They're going to put him in that one spot. How about this? I thought about this, Whitey. Wouldn't it be interesting if you told Juwan Jennings, stay in the position that you're comfortable and be the number two, and we move Tricky Ricky P to the number one spot and let him run out the X instead of the Y?
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't that be something? And I know, look, I'm pretty sure.
Z, right?
Or excuse me, the Z.
Yeah.
You would think the 49ers, I'm pretty sure they've thought about that. They've probably, thought so many different instances in so many directions when it comes to the wide receiver situation. But I always thought maybe it might be better. Why not have a high level number 2 borderline number 1? And that's what we've seen with Brandon Ayuk. Now we're talking about a 3 turn into a 2. Now we want him to be a 1, meaning Jawan Jennings. That's asking a whole hell of a lot from him.
Mm-hmm. It is. All I know is last year his numbers were very good.
Oh, absolutely.
He made some incredible catches
for sure
that don't show up in the advanced stats
in traffic.
Yes,
yeah, for sure.
Yes. Here's the latest on Jonathan Kuminga, courtesy of Anthony Slater in The Athletic, and nothing. All right. So
no. Get that right now.
Oh, I'd said
ESPN.
Athletic tonight. ESPN.
Yes,
I'm sorry, Slates. I apologize. Nothing substantial has changed. Kuminga recently made a trip to his home country, Democratic Republic of the Congo, returned to Miami with the same opinion of the Warriors' 2-year, $45 million offer. Warriors initially presented it to Kuminga as a tradable deal that could ultimately appease the long-term wishes of both sides. That is, you sign this team option in the second year, you waive the no trade clause in there, and then we can move you somewhere in January to where you want to go. Win-win, right? That's why Kuminga has continued to shut it down, says Anthony Slater. He does not want such a team-friendly deal, sources said. The idea of signing up to be more easily traded midseason is unappealing to him. So the way it's trending now is Jonathan Kuminga is leaning towards, I'm just going to sign the qualifying offer and then I'll be done in a year. So the whole idea of the Warriors, they see him now as an asset that they can trade, and Kuminga doesn't like staying just to help them.
Right.
He didn't like that idea.
He shouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Slate says everything sits in the same spot it did 10 days ago. So maybe there's still a possibility of something happening. Looks like the Bulls and Josh Giddey are getting closer to an agreement. They both want something to happen. That's the big difference.
Yeah.
People are talking a lot about all the similarities with the restricted free agents. Giddey wants to stay with the Bulls and they want to keep him. So they probably will work it out. This, I don't know. I still am very skeptical that anything's going to work out with the Kings, though.
Yeah, I don't think anything. And we'll see. You never say never.
Right.
At the moment, I think the Kings were the third party in that relationship when it comes to the Warriors and Kuminga, and each other, the Warriors or Kuminga or whoever were trying to, maximize the potential of the Kings and their interest. And just so happened, like I said, we wouldn't even be talking this much about the situation if it was the Suns or Portland or anything else. With the common sense of, obviousness of, it's the Kings, so we're going to have the conversation. But it wouldn't drag this far on if it wasn't something else, if it was somebody else intertwined in what's going on with Kuminga.
Right.
It sounds like he's going to take the 7.9 and say, get me the hell up out of here. And however y'all can do it is when. What's interesting is he looks like he's even ready to bite the bullet and say, I'll be here for the year just to play out my future moving forward.
Yeah. I think he would rather sign the qualifying offer and be there a year and then he's free to do whatever.
Right.
He would rather do that than help them with a trade.
Right.
And I get the sense the Warriors would rather have him do that than make a deal with the Kings that they don't feel great about.
Yes.
Unless they can get the Kings to take whatever you want, which hopefully they're not going to do.
No.
I don't see the Warriors agreeing to any of these deals that we've been talking about.
It's the slot. We consistently talk about it. Is the pay slot. They're looking for the pay slot of Kuminga to be in that $20 to $25 million range.
Kuminga's looking at that going, that's not my problem.
That's not me. That's right. That's on you to figure it out. And that's why I've always said Kuminga's in the spot to where he can almost say, I dare you. I double dare you.
Yeah.
I triple dare you.
Now I could
trade me.
I would guarantee you, Jay, right now there's people listening going, you guys, Tomas said there have been changes and there are going to be more changes. And that's what he's talking about. You know that there are people saying that. I'm not saying that, Jay. I don't believe that, but I'm telling you, people are reading a lot into the Domas interview.
Whitey, I'm going to say this. Those are the people that you should stop following.
Well, I'm not even talking necessarily about members of the media.
Okay.
Just fans. Fans gonna fan.
And when you see those people, you should just block them. Just block them, Mike.
Huh.
Don't even put yourself in that type of down that rabbit hole.
Maybe they're right, Jay. You ever thought of that? I don't think so. You ever thought of that? Maybe they're right.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I have. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be on the winning side when it comes to this one.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see, though. We will see.
Brock Purdy gets criticized a lot. We can agree on that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You can hear what Brock Purdy thinks of all the criticism.
The haters.
Yeah. He addressed that with his old teammate, Richard Sherman. Hear what he had to say about all the criticism. I hope you're listening, Drapes. That's next with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
The Allen Styles Show.
Are the Kings the one team in the league that could actually benefit from one of their players having a podcast? Malik, it would probably be Malik, even though he's in all these dang trade rumors. Wouldn't it be nice if you heard stories about the Kings?
You can listen to the Allen Styles Show Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on 1140 a.m., YouTube, and the Sacktown Sports app.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
There's a lot of uncertainty in the world, but one thing's for sure. You need a PC you can rely on. Whether it's for school, gaming, or whatever your next chapter holds, Lenovo.com has the tech to help you succeed. Shop PCs right now at Lenovo.com during their back-to-school sale, where students can save more when they sign up for a Lenovo education account. Free shipping, easy returns, flexible financing. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Saving for retirement was tough enough for us.
Yes, and navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we take a disciplined approach with your investments.
Tell us more about that.
We take an active approach to money management, positioning your portfolio for opportunities we see ahead.
So all your clients get the same portfolio?
No, we tailor your portfolio to your individual goals and needs.
What about communication? We don't like being left in the dark.
We check in regularly to keep you informed on the markets and your portfolio.
Which means you'll help us stay on track.
Yes, our goal is your comfortable retirement. And as a fiduciary, we always put your interests first, because we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Carmichael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Yes, I always tell you they are a family-owned operation, been in business since 81, A-plus Better Business Bureau, but it is hot. We are in those Sacramento hot months. I want to focus on them being your second opinion partner. What does that mean? Maybe you've got somebody you're working with or you've worked with in the past in the HVAC world. Guess what? They want to give you a second opinion. How much does it cost? Nothing. You call them up and say, hey, can I get a second opinion on this deal? They come out and they either say, wow, that's a great deal. You should feel better about that. Or they say, we can beat that price. And usually they're going to beat it by a lot. Guess what? You just saved money and it didn't cost you anything to find out. It's a no-lose situation. Go with a trusted company. American Energy, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
The Giant Summer Sale is here. Get giant savings on our giant selection only at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save during the Honda Summer Event and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. See all our specials at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Progressive knows we all crave validation.
Girl, you are not 37.
I would have guessed 27.
You guys are too sweet.
Sure, dewy skin.
Terrific. Is something wrong, Ned?
Why would you ask? Just because today marks my 10th anniversary without a car accident or even a speeding ticket? But somehow, tonight's all about your skincare. Wow. With Snapshot from Progressive, you can get a personalized rate based on how you drive. And that's all the validation you need. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Bing Maloney Golf Course is 27 holes of high-flying public fun, and Bing Maloney is a classic design for golfers of all abilities. Bing Maloney's lighted driving range is a great place to learn and practice this summer under the covered hitting stations. The range also offers a practice putting green and outdoor furniture to relax with friends. Enjoy tasty beverages or comfort food from Maloney's Grill. The Association of Golf Merchandisers has named Bing Maloney a top 100 golf shop. For tee times, visit bingmaloney.com. It's Sacramento Golf's great value course.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
How does Brock Purdy really feel about all these rankings that don't give him his due, that disrespect him? We're going to hear from him on that in just a moment. Before we do, let's look at one of those quarterback rankings that came out today in The Athletic. Mike Sando, who joined us earlier, came out today with his annual quarterback tiers, and this is based on the opinions of coaches and GMs. He had 50 members of his panel here, 6 GMs, 6 assistant GMs, 6 former GMs, 5 other executives, 8 head coaches, 19 other coaches, including 15 coordinators. And each voter placed 34 veteran quarterbacks into 5 tiers from the best tier 1 to the worst tier 5. So where did Brock Purdy end up here on this year's list? They do this every year. Tier 1 is just the creme de la creme. You got Mahomes, Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Matthew Stafford. What's incredible about that is this is the first time that Lamar Jackson has been tier 1. It's also the first year for Stafford, who, by the way, was supposed to work out today, Jay. He did not.
He did not, yeah.
He did not practice. He threw a little bit Saturday, Sean McVay said, he's going to throw again on Monday. He's going to practice Monday. He did not.
He'll start. Week 1, he'll be there. No team is deploying Jimmy G at the beginning of their season.
The Rams may have to.
Matt Stafford to get out there in a wheelchair before they let Jimmy G start.
Tier 2 quarterback can carry his team sometimes. Obviously special enough to be better than tier 3, but has a hole or two in his game. Jaden Daniels, who probably would be higher if he'd played more, but Jaden Daniels, Justin Herbert, Jared Goff, CJ Stroud, Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield, Dak Prescott, Jordan Love, and Brock Purdy.
BP.
Brock Purdy at the bottom of tier 2, which is still pretty good, but that puts him 14th in the NFL, Jay, according to all these scouts and GMs and former GMs and assistants.
Yeah, I mean, coming off a 6-11 campaign, I can understand it.
Yes.
I'm not going to sit up here and argue, because I asked Mike Sando this, and I'll kind of reiterate it.
Please.
I truly think if you look at the 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, that's the back half of the second tier, the first two being Jaden Daniels and Justin Herbert. Really, I think it kind of fluctuates.
There's not a lot separating.
No, they're really not, man. Like, you know, you're going to have your Cowboy fans who say Dak Prescott can do better than Brock Purdy and Baker Mayfield. You're going to have your Jordan Love and your Packer homers who, you know, man, come on now. He's way better than Jalen Hurts. You're going to have your Jared Goff guys who say, well, he's taking his team to the Super Bowl and so on and so forth. You know, CJ Stroud is a young and up-and-coming QB who might have, as according to this ranking, took just a pinch of a step
That's
back.
what you and I
year.
said Friday.
Yeah.
We talked about that Friday.
So, you know, I think if there's anybody on that list on the back half, and I hate saying this, but I'll say it because Drapes is not here, it's Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts should probably be at the top, meaning number 8. Just come off a Super Bowl campaign, man. You got to give him his love.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that with Drapes here.
No.
And hopefully he's not listening. He's taking a day off.
Right.
You know, he's off a lot Vicodin or something.
Hopefully he's done with the Vicodin.
Right. No, I kid. But to me, Jalen's the one that has a gripe. Brock Purdy doesn't have a gripe.
Mm-hmm. I notice here with these this tier listing, which comes out every year, if your team did really well, you're going to move up. And I know that's part of being a quarterback. Sometimes it's because the quarterback played well. But Brock Purdy, I'm suggesting he's down. Let's see. He slid slightly with 7 fewer tier 2 votes than in 2024. And I think a lot of that has to do with 6 and 11. This is interesting. One opposing coach says he does more on tape than I think a lot of guys can do in terms of the anticipation and accuracy. It faltered at times. Also got the sense he was playing through some things. I told you last year, Jay, he was hurt. I said that. I don't know, but just watching him, I felt like he had a little sore wing or something.
But they came out and said it was. Remember, they said he was on a pitch count and all that. So it was a little tender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he's healthy and on, I don't think there are a lot of guys who are at the level he is at, end quote, said an opposing coach. Some people here, some of the voters compared Brock Purdy to Tua as a player who benefits from his environment.
Where'd you see that at?
This is a defensive coordinator. This is in Brock Purdy's breakdown. When you play San Fran, you're thinking about McCaffrey, you're thinking about Kittle, you're thinking about Ayuk. You know Purdy will get it to them, but you're not necessarily thinking about Purdy. You're facing their defense, all these skill guys. Kyle Shanahan. He's like a pure point guard. You know, we talk a lot about pure point guards have kind of fallen out of favor in basketball.
Yes.
But Brock Purdy's a distributor.
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
And like he hits the ball to the playmakers.
I'm trying to get a grasp on where you're going with this. Do you think he's properly ranked? Are you feel like he's a little lower? Where you at with that?
I understand why he's where he is. I expect he'll move up a little bit this year. But I also think with him, it doesn't matter, not to dodge the whole issue of how good is he, but it's not about how good he is compared to other quarterbacks. It's almost irrelevant. It's like, how good is he at, performing in this system, making this offense go? And I think you could find better quarterbacks who we could all say, that guy's better than Brock Purdy, but I don't know that they would be better at keeping the 49er offense functioning at a high level. That's what I believe. Maybe that's counterintuitive, but that's what's more important. It's really more important for any of these guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And each system or each team, each organization, they draft accordingly, because to that head coach's system, we feel like that player, player X may be the person that fits properly in our system. Brock Purdy, for my money, is definitely what you said. I think you hit the nail on the head. He is a distributor. He is a point guard. He is not the prototypical point guard, to keep it in NBA terms, where I've always said, I continue to say, the point guard is the premier position of the NBA right now. If you truly look at the stars around the NBA, there are a lot of point guards, and a lot of scoring point guards, a lot of dynamic point guards, a lot of top line superstar type point guards. And when you really take a step back and look at it and kind of look at it from a bird's eye view, most of the point guards aren't distributors.
Right.
They're more,
like Shea. You're talking about Shea.
They do a little bit of everything, but they're the leader of the squad. That's Brock Purdy. I mean, excuse me, he's the opposite. He is more of the, and I always say the Rondo. He is more of the Chris, he's more of that type of caliber. And as we see, we come to notice that's not, Joe Burrow. That's not Justin Herbert. That's not the prototypical quarterback. So he's always going to be on the up, at the bottom looking up. Mm-hmm. You know what he is? He's at the bottom of the top.
Yeah, and that's almost exactly where they have him.
Yes.
They have them at the bottom of tier 2 ahead of tier 3. By the way, tier 3, just if I know I digress here because we're talking about Purdy, you got some pretty good quarterbacks in tier 3, right? Kyler Murray, Aaron Rodgers, Tua, Trevor Lawrence, Geno Smith, Bo Nix, Sam Darnold, Drake May, Caleb Williams. Some of those guys have to be better than tier 3.
They better.
Or their teams are going to be in big trouble this year.
Or their team will be tier 3.
Yeah. So Brock Purdy was talking to Richard Sherman, and Richard Sherman asked him how he feels about being snubbed, if you will, in all these rankings. And Brock Purdy has an answer that I think it's an excellent answer, but it also gives us a little window into how he approaches not only those things, but also the game of football.
I mean, I've always felt, this underdog kind of story. And that's been my story, man, from high school, college to the NFL. But for me, every single year, all that matters, man, is if, I'm leading these guys in this locker room, in this building, in this organization, and they trust me here. That's all that matters. And, we've been able to go and show and prove that what we do here, what I do as a quarterback works. And we've won games. We've been to a Super Bowl. Like, it's worked. And so as long as I just continue to focus on, where God has me and learning with Kyle and Lombardi, all my teammates, and keep having their trust and gaining their trust, that's all that matters. And so everybody's going to have something to say. That's the nature of the sport. And that's fine. But I don't buy into or listen. If I were to listen to criticism and everything, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So I've had the chip on my shoulder, and I go prove myself right every single year. And so that's just where I'm at.
When was the...
Yeah, that's Richard Sherman. We'll have a little more in just a moment. I was reading something today about Sam Darnold, and Sam Darnold, by the way, is 20th on this list. He jumped up one tier. He's tier 3, but he's moving up. And Sam Darnold talked about how much he learned from being on the team with Brock Purdy. Sam Darnold said he was an introvert growing up, which is not a great thing for a quarterback. Quarterback's got to be out there. You got to be a leader. Sam Darnold said he always internalized criticism, especially in New York. People would start to say this, they'd say that about him, and he would start to think, gosh, maybe it's true. But he said being around Brock Purdy, he watched Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy paid attention to none of that. Sam Darnold admired the way Brock Purdy went about his business. No matter what people were saying, it didn't matter. It wasn't relevant. And so Sam Darnold said he learned from that. And last year, he was able to apply that to the point where he's focusing on what he is doing on the field and not worrying about what people are saying. He said, I saw Brock. I said, I can do that. And it helped him a lot. And that's a great lesson to learn, Jay.
Yeah, absolutely. You can learn from a baby. Take a step back and pay attention. No doubt about it. So shouts out to Sam Darnold for bettering his, his quarterback experience, but we don't give a damn anymore because you're a Seattle Seahawk. So Whitey, I'm just going to go ahead and clip that and move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody
got no love for Sam Darnold no more.
Somebody in the chateau asked about Bo Nix. Where's Bo Nix? They have Bo Nix 20th, tied for 20th, tied with Sam Darnold, actually, which isn't that impressive, but this is his first time in the tier. So a lot of this is voters just going, we don't know yet. And I think he's certainly a guy that's he's probably going to be tier 2 next year. Or at the very least at the top of tier 3.
You might be right. You might be right.
Yeah. On that. And then I don't know if this was you, Jay, but someone asked about your guy, Justin Herbert, said, hopefully he's not high because he's overrated. They have him 7th.
Number 7.
Just behind Jaden Daniels. Those are the top 2 tier 2 guys. He retained his tier from last year. He went down a little bit in votes, but a lot of people love Justin Herbert. But at some point, he's got to show that he can win when it counts the most.
Whole season.
Just such a gifted passer, though, Jay. I have to admit, I get it. I remember watching Hard Knocks, and they showed him in slow motion with that beautiful release throwing into some, net during a drill or something.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that was awesome. So I get it. At some point, you got to win games.
You sipping out the cooler?
Yeah, I love the way
He's
throws
sipping
it.
out the cooler.
I love that big arm on Justin Herbert.
All right. Got to do something in the postseason. Matter of fact, you have to get to the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't gotten to the postseason more than he has.
Yeah, well, they blew that big lead against Jacksonville, right?
Yep. Remember 2 years ago, the Raiders at the end couldn't put it away.
Mm-hmm.
So Brandon Staley.
Yeah. Here's a little more from Brock Purdy. Not being ranked in the top 100, things like that. Does he actually use that for motivation?
You have to, whether it's true or not. Like, you have to tell yourself, like, dude, I was drafted last. I'm Mr. Irrelevant, like that whole thing. But that fire that I came into my rookie year with that chip on my shoulder, trying to show those guys on the field, my teammates, the defense, like, hey, like I'm made for this, and just reminding you of yourself of that, and every single year. And for me, I'm a faithful man. I believe that God created me to be a competitor, to be a leader. And just because we got to the Super Bowl, or I got a contract, that doesn't mean like for me, it's the next season, man. It's how can I go lead these boys today for this practice, for this game coming up, this season. Like, there's this drive of, I still got to go show and use my talents that God's blessed me with to go show him, my teammates, that like I'm this competitor that you can rely on. And so it's pushing myself every single day. It's not being content. It's being comfortable with being uncomfortable. Like, it's always this uneasy feeling that I can get better. So that's where I'm at daily. And
how's he going to get better, Jay? That was my question for you earlier. I'm a Brock Purdy fan. I think he's done a phenomenal job. He played well enough to win a Super Bowl. They didn't win. I get that. But he's played well. But in what ways can he be better? And I'm not sure. And Jay is helping me out with that. Maybe they don't need him to be a lot better, but he's only been in his third. He's played 3 seasons. How can Brock Purdy be better? Just more consistent, a little sharper.
Yeah, I think a little sharper
with the ball.
Yeah, a little sharper.
Mm-hmm.
The one that always comes to my head, and I talked about it earlier, is I think he is what we've needed for a while, which is a quarterback who can extend plays, can make something out of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a firm believer, to beat a Pat Mahomes, a Josh Allen, a Jaden Daniels, a Lamar Jackson, there's going to be 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5, a handful of opportunities for the opposing quarterback to do something special or spectacular. And those plays have to be made. I'm a firm believer the 49ers didn't do those in the losses to the Kansas City Chiefs. There were a couple of opportunities for the defense and for the offense to make those plays, and they just couldn't. And then vice versa. You just go back to the overtime, and it wasn't a spectacular play, but you see Pat Mahomes take the initiative and run it in for the game-winning score.
Mm-hmm.
Brock Purdy brings that type of capability to the table for the 49ers, Whitey, for me. He can make a play out of nothing. It may not be as spectacular as Lamar Jackson, but he's shown and proved that he can do it.
That's
There's
where
plenty of instances.
People that imply or suggest that he's a game manager is like, he's more than that.
Yeah, they're not watching, man.
Yeah.
They're not putting the time in. They're not, they're not on the Brian
Right.
Baldinger. They're not studying the film.
Right.
And so with that being said, as I set the foundation, I do think there is a lack of decision-making when it comes to that. Sometimes you step on the gas and you go make the play, and sometimes you just fight to live another day. You throw the ball away, you run out of bounds, and you move on.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a few instances where Brock, he's gotten away with some crazy things, and it takes that for you to continue to do those things. Josh Allen, it's like, how did he do that? You'll never know if you don't try it. But there are a few opportunities where it's like, damn, Brock, what was that about? You could just, come on, man, throw that ball away. Let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, that's the tier. The other part about Brock Purdy is, and you asked me this earlier, and I'm going to spin it back to you. Can he get much better?
Yeah. Justin says, really, Whitey, dude made bad decisions last year. Read the defense, man. Uses checkdowns more.
Yeah.
he can. That's what I'm saying. I feel like we've seen the best of him, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm not saying, oh, he's terrible, but I just feel like, man, I don't know how much better he can get other than maybe being more consistent with his decisions, taking fewer chances. But I think that's always him. I really think even in college, he takes some chances because he's just got that, I hate to say it, but that gunslinger mentality.
Yeah.
I think he's at this level, but I think he's capable of staying at it at a very high level for a long time. I just don't see him compared to some of the other younger quarterbacks as a guy that, wow, he can get a ton better. I don't think he can, but I don't think he needs to.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm as you talked about earlier, talking about being in the boat. I'm with you. I'm 100%. I think the decision making, the consistency, and that's why I bring up that example of sometimes you make stuff out of nothing and it goes great, and then there's a lot of times where it's like, damn, that was stupid. That was the dumbest thing you could have did. And I think last year we saw more of that. Now, albeit because he probably felt like he was on the island many times. Didn't have IU. McCaffrey was hurt. He was really trying to create some stuff. So we'll see very quickly. I'm with you. I think he's at the top of where he's going to be. I don't really see him ever getting that much better. The only thing you need to do is win and win consistently. And if you do that, then the narrative of, he can't do, he will never be a top 5 guy. Those things will change. He just has to consistently win as well. And that's not all on him. It's on the team, too.
From the 209, what else is he supposed to do? Why are you only considered a good quarterback if you're on a bad team? Makes no sense to me whatsoever about this Brock Purdy talk. The dude is an excellent quarterback, and it's not his fault. He got drafted by the 49ers. The 49ers have had plenty of quarterbacks who have failed under Shanahan, who had as many weapons. It's ridiculous. Have they had that many that failed under Shanahan? I don't know. I think I get the point. The point is, and to the point you just made, Jay, if the 49ers win, Brock Purdy is going to be seen as begrudgingly, the voters will say, yeah, he's a top 10 quarterback because they win. Yeah. And if they don't, like last year,
probably the system.
Yeah. And that's true to a degree, but that's actually what they need him to be.
Right.
And I would argue every quarterback is a system quarterback. Every quarterback, if he's good, is a great fit for his team's system.
Yep. I think you're spot on. Truly, he gets docked for what he's good at. Mm-hmm. And that's crazy. It's crazy to think about that. It's almost saying, you know what? They play in the Warrior system, and he shoots threes very well, but that's all he can do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, but that's what I'm asked to do.
Yeah.
And so he's going to be a catch-22 guys moving forward. Whitey, I'm a true believer. The only thing that will push Brock Purdy up is winning.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only thing that's going to help him. It doesn't matter. Like someone talked 72 total touchdowns and 27 career interceptions. Go find another quarterback with a better ratio than maybe Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen. That's from the 209. I think we're with you.
Yes,
209.
Absolutely.
But people won't resonate that as Brock Purdy being great.
He could win a Super Bowl. There will be some that will go, yeah, but he could win 2 Super Bowls. There are still going to be people that will say, yeah, but, and those people will be missing the point entirely.
Correct.
Brock Purdy gives you a great chance to win the Super Bowl. That's all you need. If you have a quarterback who gives you a great chance to win the Super Bowl, you've got the quarterback you want.
You're right. He will be continuously graded on the curve because he was the last pick of the draft.
Right.
And as long as he plays under Kyle Shanahan, which depending on who you ask, could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Kyle Shanahan will forever get more credit for what Brock Purdy does versus Brock Purdy getting more credit than being the quarterback and being the leader. Just like he said, hey, they trusted me to go out here and get these dubs, be a leader of men, and drive this team to trying to win a Super Bowl. We got there, we lost. No one who around here is putting that on Brock Purdy. No one really.
No.
Most people blaming that on Shanahan, McCaffrey's fumble, the defense, Drake Greenlaw being hurt. So that's why I said he's kind of in a no-win situation until he wins a Super Bowl or 2.
Mm-hmm. Travis McDonald in the Chateau says Brock's going to have to make a jump to make up for the loss of so many defensive players this year. Seekins forces Purdy needs to remain healthy, get the ball off early, and throw the ball away instead of taking unnecessary hits.
Yeah. Which is the last point. I mean, the point is kind of what I'm getting to on the last point. he has done it for a while, and I think I said this is his MO. This was who he is. This was gotten him to the NFL of creating plays. And like you said, being a gunslinger, a person who takes chances, and probably not opportune times. But it's gotten him here this far. And he is, which is crazy. When you really sit down and look at it, Whitey, he is a top half of the NFL quarterback.
Yes.
And when you put it the way you said it, he gives you an opportunity to win a Super Bowl. That's it. That's all.
Right.
The rest of the team has to do their job too. I think Brock Purdy is good enough to take his team to a Super Bowl because he has already.
When we come back, your A's or whoever's A's they are back.
John Fisher's.
Yeah, they're back in town tonight. Anybody care? Next, Sacktown Sports.
Labor Day savings are on at Elk Grove Chevy with $10,500 off MSRP. Every new 2025 Silverado 1500 5.3 liter after all rebates. And Elk Grove Chevy has one of the largest selections in the Sacramento area. $10,500 off new Silverado exclusively at the Elk Grove Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MetaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Excludes work parking ZR2 Met Trading 2011 Chevy car drive not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
Made a great deal at Meta.
High voltage live boxing action returns to the venue on September 6th as Uppercut Promotions presents Thunder Showdown with 6 big fights on the bill featuring local lightweight standout Kyle Lockenlally, who enters the ring undefeated. And don't miss a big heavyweight showdown with Chinese heavyweight Junglong Singh and Sacktown's own Vikas Diaw. Thunder Showdown coming September 6th to the venue at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Tickets available at Ticketmaster. Fight card subject to change.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Your car steering wheel could be a ticking time bomb. At least 24 people have died and many more injured because their airbags fired shrapnel at them upon inflating. Tens of millions of cars have been recalled. If you suffered cuts that required stitches, hearing or vision loss, or broken bones, please contact us today. You could be owed money for medical bills and other damages.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit us at badairbags.com for an office near you. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Summer's flying by, and that back-to-school checklist, it's growing fast. New backpack? Check. School supplies? Check. Dentist appointment? Let's fix that. Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics is making it easy to cross dental checkups off your summer list fast, with priority scheduling for new patients and kid-friendly care that makes them smile. It's one less thing to worry about before fall. Call now or book online at kidscaredental.com. That's kidscaredental.com, because healthy smiles should be the easiest thing to check off your summer list.
The Tribe Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
That's not Goo Goo Dolls, is it, Jay?
Nah, this is a cat named Jelly Roll.
Okay.
Nah, Shabuzi and Jelly Roll.
Okay. Thank you. Drive Guys? Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I know who they are, but we equal opportunist music around here.
Yeah.
That's it.
That just sounded, that reminded me of
what song? What
Name?
Song? Name?
Yeah.
Let me look that up for you.
That's all right. I don't need to hear it. Thank you. The A's back home tonight against the Tampa Bay Rays, and then the Giants are also home tonight against the Padres. And this might be it for your beloved Giants, Jay. They've got 3 against the Padres here, and a lot of people are saying, a lot of diehard Giants fans are saying if they don't play well in this series, they're checking out. They're giving up hope. They're giving up a hope of a wild card berth this year, Jay, if they don't play well against the Padres.
I didn't bring this up last week because I said I'm going to let my boy Dub G live a little bit. But remember when they jumped on the Pirates that one day? You're like, look at them. They bounced back from the Pirates, and then they proceeded to lose 10 of 11. 10 of 11.
Yeah, they hit a rough patch.
And then all of a sudden, but That was wait a minute. They had got swept by the Pirates. They had got swept by the Mets. Who was before the Pirates that swept that ass?
Oh, well, you're going back a little ways.
Okay, well, who was before the Pirates?
Yeah, on that homestand, they lost all 6.
Yeah, so it was
right.
the Mets, right?
It was the Mets. The Pirates.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then they went on the road,
and
played the Pirates.
Beat up the Mets a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they won the series against the Pirates.
I think it was two or three, maybe.
And they came home this weekend against the Nationals, didn't play well, and yesterday was just like,
what's
wrong?
Actually, I think they lost that series against the Pirates in Pittsburgh. Let's look that up. I thought they went one for 3.
I know that the one game where I said, "Oh, look, they're coming along. Look at that. You can't keep those Giants down." They lost.
They lost that one. Yeah.
I jinxed them. But I'm just telling you, even diehard Giants fans are saying this series might be it against San Diego.
It might be, huh?
It might be.
Well, I'm here to tell you it is.
The days are getting shorter, Jay.
It was before too.
But this is very interesting as we talk about the A's beyond the on-field play. You know that you probably see at the yard, you see the Sell T-shirts, which started in Oakland when the A's were still in Oakland. The Sell T-shirts, Sell the Team chants. According to USA Today, an analysis shows that 12 Major League Baseball teams have engaged in that chant, Sell the Team, in varying degrees of organization the past 3 years. USA Today suggests that this may indicate fans have taken a cue from Oakland's highly publicized unrest to demand more from their ownership groups. In Denver, Sell the Team was heard earlier this year when the Rockies were nipped by the Padres 21-0. On Chicago's South Side, Sell the Team has been a refrain at least 3 years running. And you've got it in Pittsburgh. Let's see. Paul Skeens Bobblehead Day, Jay. A sellout crowd chanting Sell the Team.
Wow.
It's happening in Washington with the Nationals. So Ace fans have started something. There's fans around baseball. And I think if it hasn't already, it will spread to other sports. They're expressing their frustration. Forget booing. It's like, sell the team. It's spreading.
Is that the go-to now for if you feel like your team is doing terrible and the organization hasn't done much in the last handful of years?
I guess it's becoming that. Yeah, the sell movement was at full tilt in Brent Rucker's first All-Star season. And he says there's both sides to it, I guess. You respect people's right to voice their opinion.
Of course you do, especially if they paid.
At the same time, you kind of wish that energy was directed more towards supporting what's happening on the field because we're given a lot of effort and work really hard, and a lot goes into going out and competing every night. So you see both sides of it. You respect people's right to voice their opinions, but there are times we wish that energy was directed more at supporting what we're doing on the field.
That's what Drapes has been saying.
I know.
Dang.
He has.
He's been saying, don't direct it towards the players because the players aren't the one
and
who
it's
put
not
them in a
directed
position.
towards
It's not. But that's the only way that you can voice your frustration and it be seen, because it's definitely not being seen and heard, because we know John Fisher's not sticking around for it to be heard. You can't even get any type of interview with this dude.
Last December, during a 6-3 loss to the Seahawks, Bears fans were chanting "Sell the Team." Woody Johnson's New York Jets heard it in an October game at MetLife Stadium. Sell the team. It was a staple at Washington Commanders games until Daniel Snyder did what? Sell the team.
Yeah.
As his latest training camp superstar stare down unfolded, Jerry Jones took a verbal ribbing and fans toted signs urging him to sell on August 2nd.
What?
Yes.
You mean tell me the Cowboys fans are turning on Jerry Jones?
Detroit Pistons when they lost their 25th consecutive game in December 2023, or when Knicks fans grew exhausted of owner James Dolan's decades of mismanagement in March of 2020. Sell the team. It's a movement, Jay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I respect it.
Mm-hmm.
I respect the fan operating in the form that they feel suit. It's when you spend your money, and Brent Rooker is correct on both sides.
He is.
He definitely is. You have the right to go out and voice your opinion, be seen and be heard. And then on the flip side of it, the players are definitely the ones that probably hear it the most, which is crazy because it's not directed towards them. But they're in the fight. They're in the thick of things. They're the ones that are being, mics are being put in front of their face every single day about well, how you feel, as you mimicked a little crybaby there.
And Brent Rooker's not a crybaby.
No,
but
I
come on, Brent.
I see.
He's an all-star. I know.
You got to figure that out.
During one of the Pirates' cell chants this season, according to USA Today, the team broadcast cut the crowd noise until the chanting stopped.
Really?
See? The A's, remember the reverse boycott, which is June 2023?
Yeah.
If you go to look that game up, MLB TV's archives, it's not there. They took it down.
Really?
Yes.
Did you do that or did you read that?
I'd read that before. I'd seen that before. MLB took down from their archives the reverse boycott game, June 2023 in Oakland. They took it down.
Yeah.
Not there.
Did you see Paul Skeens? He has said that he will not resign until the team lets him know or, comes to his team what the plan is to better that team. He wants to know what's the plan. How are we moving forward together? I'm not getting ready to keep running out here and delivering great games and we're not playing for nothing.
That's a tough one for the team.
Man, that's a tough position to be in if you're the Pirates.
I know this year there was some talk that, hey, they might move him at the deadline. And they said, no, we are not doing that. You can't do that. But at some point, if you're going to lose him anyway, if it gets to that point, you almost have to. And then you're just telling your fans, we're not really trying to win. That's a tough one.
Yeah, you trade Paul Skeens right now, and I believe they have 2 more years of control, maybe 2 or 3.
Yo, they got time to work it out.
Yeah, they do. You have a little opportunity, but of course, if you're the Pirates, you're trying to jump in front of it. Really, he's one of maybe 2 or 3 people over there that you would be excited to come and watch a game. Cruz may be the other one, but I just don't really see, if you're the Pirates, how you're not stepping on the petrol right now.
Yeah. Andrew McCutchen still might be one of their draws. What does that tell you?
Yeah, well.
I mean, bless him and everything.
I like Andrew. That's my guy.
Ryan Noda used to be with the A's. If you're an A's fan, you may remember a couple of years ago, he was seen as maybe one of their up-and-coming stars. He's not there anymore. He's with Baltimore. Here's what he says of all the sell the team chants. I guess it goes back to freedom of speech and why the United States is so awesome. I don't know how many front offices and owners pay attention, but players, we hear it. And going through it for a whole year was weird, but we knew they weren't saying it to us. We knew they still backed us and treated us like we were players. And they knew how hard we worked and how hard we wanted to win. At the end of the day, we kind of just blocked it out on our end and waited for them to cheer. Thank you. That's the way you do it, Ryan Noda. They're not saying it to you. You don't own the team.
Mimicking what we're saying. Yeah. The players will hear it more than the ownership group, front office, the investors, the minority owners, all of those people. I truly believe they don't even give a damn. When it's really all said and done, they probably look around and say, well, it is what it is. They're upset. I'm still cashing checks, and we're still trying to deliver this organization to the Las Vegas, area. But the players are the ones who are going to have to deal with it more and more and more than anyone.
To me, if you own a team and your fans are chanting that, now the A situation is so bizarre.
Yeah, they're different.
But otherwise, the fans are doing you a favor. They're really letting you know we are not happy. And I think that's useful information for a team. And yeah, it's uncomfortable in the short term, but you need to know that if your fan base is really unhappy, and there's other ways to know too if they're not buying tickets. But when you have a chant like that at your stadium, that's got to be a wake-up call for the entire organization, right? Everybody, stem to stern. We can't have this. What do we need to do to turn this around?
You would think, but how many ownership groups change on a dime when they hear that? Like even talking about one,
they don't. I'm just saying they should.
James Dolan, what was that? 2020 about the Knicks.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, it took them still a few years to kind of spin it around and twist it.
Yeah, that's 21 was that when they started, when they hired Tibbs, around there. So a short time after that, they did something right. But that doesn't mean it was because of the chant. They just eventually, got some right.
Brunson,
even a blind squirrel finds an ink. Sometimes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. By the way, the whole A's move to Vegas. I continue to see things, Jay, and I don't go there nearly as much as you. I haven't been there in a long time, but there's still a lot of people saying boy, the economy has really taken a downturn in Vegas, and they're not even sure why or what's going on there.
Right. Yeah. From all accounts, and I've been seeing some of the same things you're seeing, Whitey. 11% compared to last year so far through the first half of the year. 11% down on tourism in Las Vegas. You know, the strip is not hopping as much as it normally has. And I have seen a few different articles that talks about, you know, even if you can't get the true ilk of what's going on in Las Vegas off the strip, you could take it right on down the Fremont area and find that. And a lot of people saying it's not really hopping down there as well. It's interesting.
So how in the world is John Fisher going to find people willing to invest in that whole project there when people aren't coming to Vegas like they have?
Yeah, private money, brother. Private money. It's going to take a lot of private money. But we heard bank promissory notes. Remember? That's what we kept hearing. We'll back them. They have the money. The family has the money. And then all of a sudden, San Jose earthquakes, they're up for sale. That tells me they might not have the money.
Yeah.
Or if they have the money, that's not where they're investing in themselves. They don't want to put that money out there, you know, when it comes to the A's, because it's not a guaranteed sale right
now. That move ain't happening.
I'm telling you it's not.
Where they're going,
I'm telling you it's not.
They're not going.
I will venture to say this over and over and over. MLB will have to bail their ass out. If MLB doesn't bail the A's out, the A's will not get it done by themselves moving to Las Vegas. They will be somewhere else.
Right. And if no one's going to Vegas and they can't support a team, MLB is going to be in no hurry to bail the A's out and put them there.
True.
Yeah. Stay tuned. When we come back, another look at the 49ers challenging wide receiver situation. And could it already be too late for the Cowboys on Micah Parsons? Next, Sacktown Sports.
The Allen Styles Show.
Are the Kings the one team in the league that could actually benefit from one of their players having a podcast? Malik, it would probably be Malik, even though he's in all these dang trade rumors. Wouldn't it be nice if you heard stories about the Kings?
You can listen to the Allen Styles Show Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on 1140 a.m., YouTube, and the Sacktown Sports app.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You waited a lifetime for this moment. Now it's time to celebrate. The official collection. The Oklahoma City Thunder, NBA champions. Available now at NBA Store. A Fanatics experience.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Averyana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Les Schwab Tire Centers and Bare Bones Workwear. Tickets at CITPFest.com.
Drapes and Whitey. Whitey and Drapes. You know the pair, the Drive Guys.
And the pair should be reunited tomorrow. Kyle Draper should be back with us today after undergoing a dental procedure. He's had a series of these dental procedures, Jay. Hopefully this was the last of it. They've got everything straightened out.
Oh, yeah, we got faith.
Yeah.
Got to give him a shout. Wish him the best. Need a day off when you get a little root canal.
Yeah, I think that should be a law.
You ain't lying.
Yeah, root canal day off. At least a day off, right?
At least one.
That's like 700 home runs. Okay, Hall of Fame. Root canal day off. Here's what's going on with the 49ers today. They got some more less than great news on the wide receiver front when they found out that Jordan Watkins suffered a high ankle sprain Saturday night, so he's going to miss about a month. Kyle Shanahan did today give a rough estimate on Brandon Ayuk's return. He said maybe week 6. He also said could be week 10, could be week 5. Demarcus Robinson appealing a league suspension related to his November DUI. Similar arrests, Jay, have resulted in 3-game suspensions to begin the season, according to The Athletic. Kyle Shanahan said of the appeal, not sure how it's going. Juwan Jennings was seen doing light running on a side field Monday. You know, he's had a calf issue that bothered him in the spring, and he's unhappy with his contract. Kyle Shanahan says the calf and the contract are not related. Not at all. This is actually why Juwan missed OTAs, because of his calf. Jacob Cowing, who suffered a hamstring strain on the first day of training camp, tested well in a Sunday workout and should be back in practice Tuesday. So, yes, again, these are all wide receivers. So the 49ers have they have been going through a tough stretch here with the health of their wide receivers. And then they've got joint practice this week with the Raiders Thursday, then the preseason game there Saturday. And last week's sessions with the Broncos, well, they were probably more comprehensive than these sessions may be because of all of the injuries to 49er wide receivers. So we'll see about that. Shanahan did say, as we mentioned earlier, the team looking into all options at receiver, which means that they may be looking at some free agents if it comes to that, depending on what happens health-wise. A list of players available. What do you think, Jay? Gabe Davis, Amari Cooper, whose name was linked to the 49ers a year ago. Amari Cooper, sign him up.
Hey, give me anybody with some healthy legs at this point.
Yeah, if Watkins, Ayuk, and Demarcus Robinson are going to miss chunks of the season, they might have to pursue a higher profile free agent.
Yeah,
their hand may be forced.
Maybe we're getting to the point. Maybe we don't know. We have no clue. At least Tarek Owens want to jump in and do his thing. Then yeah, Robbie Chosen come out there and show that he still got a little juice left in the feet. Beyond that, they sure better be on the open market. I'm not exactly sure where they're going with this when it comes to the wide receiver core compared to injuries. And it's just same old 49ers. Doesn't even surprise me anymore.
Just the whole injury thing?
Yep.
Mid-season form here for the 49ers?
Mid-season form already, man. Yeah. Already. If they had any type of tough schedule, boy, it'd be tough sledding. I just think they have enough top-tier talent that'll get them across the finish line. Now, when you get to the playoffs, that's a whole different monster. Hopefully you get hot, or, you get cooking in the form of, you guys have gelled, and maybe Tricky Ricky P is on one, or Brandon Ayuk is back at top flight. But right now, it's the norm. 'tis the season to be the norm for the 49ers when it comes to injuries.
What are your expectations? Just asking your opinion for Ricky Pearsall. It's hard to tell because we don't know.
Don't really know.
They drafted him so high. Obviously, they love his his ball skills. I mean, we've seen the highlights, make some great catches, and they like him against press coverage. It's hard to gauge anything on last year after he literally got shot. So he's a key to this whole thing coming together for him. They need him to be good this year.
He's part of it.
Yeah.
He needs to play like he was drafted.
Yeah.
A first round top tier type of talent. I don't know what he's bringing to the table. We will see as we move forward. I'm not exactly sure, how they're going to weaponize him in this offense.
Mm-hmm.
At first, we looked like he was going to be part of the, he's going to be in a slot a little more. Looks like now he's going to be on the outside, probably has to be on the outside. That changes it, changes the narrative of how you send him off in this offense. He's so fresh and so new, and we didn't really get an opportunity to see a lot of him last year due to injuries and being shot and other things. So I don't really have no expectations as far as he needs to be good and put up some numbers.
Don't you think that with the younger receivers, we mentioned a number of them, and Cowing is coming along, Watkins played well, but if you have to play any of those guys for any reason because of injuries or whatever, and one of them drops a pass, Jay, we're not going to see him again. You have one of your youngsters drops a key pass. I don't know how much patience Kyle's going to have with him. Maybe I'm being unfair, but I know he'll do that if you fumble. You're okay. Sit down. He loses faith in you. I would hate to see that happen with one of the young wide receivers, but I could see it happening.
Maybe I could see it. The only thing I could say, to play devil's advocate is they don't have anyone behind you, young fella.
Mm-hmm.
So you may get another opportunity to show and prove what you do. But you may be right. He had Brandon Ayuk in that doghouse for a long time, and it felt like a lot of people talked about, man, Brandon Ayuk didn't do anything to deserve to be in that doghouse. So I'm not exactly sure, if Cowing's been around for a few now. He's kind of the take the top off type guy, the speedster, go deep. He's been banged up, didn't get a lot of opportunity. We don't know what he really bringing to the table. It looks like Jordan Watkins is a possessional guy, maybe. DeMarcus.
He caught a long pass Saturday, but then he also ran a route incorrectly, which led to a Mac Jones interception.
INT.
Yeah.
Mac
Jones looks good, Jay.
Okay, well.
He better, right?
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, we need him to be. If you don't, then we're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
We're one thing about the 49ers, and I was trying to find it here real quick. They're operating on slim margins.
Yes, they are. The fact that they went out and got DeMarcus Robinson, he's a good player, that shows you. I don't want to say they were desperate, but they knew that there's a chance he wouldn't play at the beginning of the year. They went out and got him anyway. They needed him that badly.
Last year we came into the season, and I remember playing it because Diamador Lenore in the interview said, we all know this is the end of all in, meaning last year coming into the season, preseason. Like, we know after this, there will be some guys that won't be here. They lost a ton of people.
Yes.
A slew of people.
Yes.
If that was it, the end of all in, but they still bring the CMCs, the Kittles, the Trent Williams, guys like that, could we possibly say this may truly be the end of all in when it comes to certain people like the Kittles of the world? I know Trent Williams re-upped a little bit, but he's always teetered with retirement. He said he's going to play his deal out. But let's just say for some reason, and I'm hoping it doesn't happen, let's say they go 6-11 again.
If they go 6-11 with this schedule, everybody should just resign. They should say, our bad.
Yeah. Who's still safe on this team, I guess is what I'm asking.
To answer your question, that would only happen, I think, if some of the key offensive players got hurt again. Kittle's phenomenal, but he deals every year. He gets hurt early on, and he finds a way to make it through the season, to power through. At some point, unless he just decides he's done, there's a good chance he's going to sustain an injury that's going to affect his ability. I hope it doesn't happen. It could. If that happens, and if McCaffrey is he's 60% of what he used to be, then you have to move on from those guys. But short of that, they're going to be around a while.
Okay. I'm believing in you, brother.
Yeah.
Drive the car.
Real quick, some people think that Micah Parsons and Jarrah, that this might be the end of the line. But other people think that Jerry, because he has this Netflix Life of Jerry Jones or whatever it is, they think that this is all part of his plan to sign Micah as something he can show on his series.
Well, as a bunch of my Cowboy fans have reminded me over the last couple of weeks, I've been talking to a couple of my boys down there in Texas. This is, as much as the injuries are the MO for the 49ers, this is the MO for the Cowboys in the last few years.
Sure.
They've told me the week of this first week of the season, Micah will get signed. If he doesn't that week, then we'll read into the realness of the situation.
We're only 24 days away from Cowboys-Eagles. Thanks for being with us. We're back with you tomorrow. Stick around, won't you? We've got some outstanding sports talk with JR Sports Brief Show next on Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing